Imagine a lake with clear water and unpolluted air. Imagine a website with real news and no hidden, unlabeled, sponsored articles masquerading as real news. That place exists, and it's called Be in Crypto, the first and only cryptocurrency news portal to provide complete transparency and honest news. Pure, relevant, informative. Are you in?
Bears and bulls are the two driving forces of the crypto market, depending on who buys and who sells. The bear, his superpower is to make money even when the market is down. Bear's strategy is selling short and provoking a supply increase. The bull, the whole bull's life is dealings for a rise. His main goal is a growing market. Bull is optimistic and pluckily beats first. The confrontation of bulls and bears lasts forever, and as its price depends on who leads the fight. Exmo, choose the strategy and make profit.
Welcome to the Theta Network. Earn T-Fuel crypto rewards simply by watching live streams and videos. As you watch and share with others, you're contributing to the decentralized Theta Network, all powered by Theta's native blockchain. Discover the future of video delivery at thetanetwork.org.
Hello, everyone. This is the last day of our 5th anniversary summit, and this is Maxim Sukhanosik, host of the Synopsis Summit and co-founder and CEO of Colibri Group and Coindar.org. During this whole week, Synopsis Events has been offering a complete immersion in digital economy, DeFi and NFT. We have been discussing DeFi, NFT, IVO and Financial NFTs, the incredibly popular Metaverses, play to earn and move to earn, GameFi, Esports, cryptocurrency exchanges, TA and trading, crypto mining and staking, and industry regulations. And today, we are going to complete the review of the industry achievements for the first half of 2022. The official partner of the broadcast is Theta TV, and on the Theta Drop platform, you can get several collections of exclusive NFTs dedicated to the summit and become their owners. The NFT data was developed by the joint efforts of the Colibri Group, Theta Labs, and Coindar teams. We continue to use and develop one of the first Theta Pass implementation to access premium content for conference attendees via NFT. What does it mean, you ask? This means that every owner of NFT Synopsis can get a ticket of a special category, Theta Pass, to unlock the premium features of the ticket, as well as access to premium content and other options in the future. To do this, you need to have any NFT on Theta Drop released by Synopsis and log in into the Synopsis website in appropriate section, Ticket, Theta Pass. The summit is hosted by the international blockchain consulting company Colibri Group and the leading cryptocurrency calendar market research service Coindar.org. I would like to take this opportunity and add that now you can follow the events of the crypto industry with Coindar.org in a new Opera crypto browser. Download, use, and enjoy the extremely convenient features implemented in the Opera crypto browser. Co-organizers of Synopsis 5 are Being Crypto and Hello. Being Crypto is an unbiased blockchain media that follows the principles of the Trust Project, a non-profit consortium of media organizations building standards of transparency, accuracy, inclusion, and fairness. Hello is a sustainable and regulatory-friendly decentralized platform that solves the key issues of blockchain technologies through the maximized speed, security, environmental friendliness, and scalability of the proof-of-stake consensus. I want to thank our general sponsor, Hello, as well as the diamond sponsor who made a significant contribution to the organization of this event. This has the largest companies in the crypto industry, such as Algorand, Arpak, Veracity, and Prism NFT. Gold sponsors such as Envelope, Solve Protocol, Gather Network, Bello Protocol, NewPay Technologies, Fairdesk, and Vera Esports also made a no less significant contribution. We express special gratitude to our dear friends and partners who also made a huge contribution to the implementation of this event. These companies are Theta Network, Theta Drop, and Theta TV, Blockchain, Binks, Sugarverse, Exmo, Exip, Musai, Holidays, and Mui. So let's go Synopsis 5. Our final day starts with a presentation by Bogdan Cretu, marketing manager at CoinZilla, with the theme Marketing a Crypto Project.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Maxim. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Bogdan Cretu, and I work as head of marketing at CoinZilla. And today I'm here to talk to you about how to market a crypto project, because this can be difficult, especially for new projects, but sometimes even for larger projects that are pretty well established on the market already. So to begin, I want to talk a little bit about the crypto industry overall. And one thing that you should always keep in mind is that the crypto industry is fast and it evolves fast. Bitcoin was launched in 2009, and the first time it hit over 1,000 US dollars in price was around 2013. But most people haven't heard of it until 2017 when it started its famous bull run. And since then, in just the span of five years, cryptocurrencies turned from an overnight media sensation to a core element of various tech projects. And right now, adoption is booming, with nearly 17 million Bitcoin active addresses and over 7 million active Ethereum addresses being on the market. However, while the crypto market is booming, being successful in it is no easy task. So the industry developed somewhat of a bad reputation because of cyber criminals and pump and dump schemes, and especially the high volatility of prices. So when you try to get your project off the ground and put it in front of people, you may hit several bumps in the road. And first of all, the main issue you might encounter is reaching the right audience, because crypto audiences are very niched and you may not find them on general social media platforms or general communication channels. You're going to have to dive a little bit deeper into that. Secondly, you're going to have to build credibility. And giving people a reason to trust you might prove somewhat difficult, especially if you don't have a reputation on the market. And finally, with major advertising platforms such as Google and Facebook, it's going to be pretty difficult to integrate them into your marketing strategy, as they don't take kindly to the crypto market, to say so. So while they may have lowered the restrictions in recent years, you may find that using them to promote a crypto project may be pretty difficult, if not even impossible. But let's tackle the first challenge. As I mentioned, these are just bumps in the road. So before anything else, you should make sure that you really understand your audience. Try to figure out who they are, what their difficulties are, and how you can help them overcome those difficulties. You can do this by creating a customer persona and use tools such as Google Analytics or Microsoft Clarity, Or you can also use surveys and case studies or even interviews with some of your clients. Just ensure that you put a lot of effort into understanding them and into figuring out how your project or your product can help them fix or solve specific needs that they have. Secondly, you should pay attention to the communication channels that you integrate in your marketing strategy. So, for example, Telegram and Twitter are two of the most popular platforms in the crypto community. So your presence there should be a must. Many users also use Facebook sometimes for crypto information, crypto-related information. But trying to promote your crypto on Facebook can be pretty difficult. And you're going to have to mainly get into groups. And those groups can be pretty spammy and can get difficult to manage pretty fast. Also, make sure you take into consideration the market and the audience that you're trying to address. So, for example, if you're trying to address clients from Asia, let's say, you may want to also integrate platforms such as WeChat or Line in your communication strategy, because those are more niched to that market. Or if you're trying to reach business owners or top management in various businesses, you may try to use LinkedIn, because that may be a better approach for your audience. And once you identified and engaged with your audience, try to work on building a strong community around your brand. Ask for your audience's feedback, for your users' feedback, and listen to it, and try to integrate it in your project and develop and upgrade your project around the needs and the requirements of your customers. Also, you should try to align your social missions with the beliefs, with their beliefs, and share your team and client stories, or even create brand ambassador programs or affiliate programs that's going to reward people for bringing more people to your platform. Moving on to the second challenge, the credibility. Credibility can take years to build, but can crumble in seconds. So make sure you're transparent in your communication and in the way you operate your business, so customers won't perceive you as sketchy. Try to show behind the scenes photos, or even try to start the company vlog where you present your company as it is. You showcase the people that are working on your project, and try to interact with your customers and build that engagement and develop that relationship. Secondly, try to focus on creating a great white paper, especially when you're new on the market and you just released your project. Analyze your market, analyze your audience, analyze your competitors, and especially analyze your own product. So perform SWOT analysis, like strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and try to address how you minimize the risks of your projects, because that's going to prove that you're self-aware and that you understand the market that you're diving in. You understand the strengths and the weaknesses that your product has, and try to develop like risk analysis and showcase how you're going to tackle those risks and how you're going to minimize them in case they eventually happen. This will also help convince investors to join your cause, as well as attract more experienced users. And another tool you can use to boost your credibility are media mentions. So if you have a big announcement to make, try to deliver it on major crypto publications to reach a wider audience. This will also help serve as some sort of endorsement from that publication for your project. So for example, if you manage to create a partnership or to collaborate or to even get the word out there about your project on a website such as Etherscan, that's going to really push up your brand and give some more credibility to who you are and to what you developed. And this also helps generate more awareness for your brand and even leads at times. The third challenge, the restrictions, this may be a bit more tricky to overcome. But when you can't use paid media, organic is your best friend. So first off, you should get into content marketing. This should be an essential part of your marketing strategy, because it helps you engage with your audience and build that much needed credibility, and eventually convert your prospects into loyal customers. But through content marketing, I don't mean just pump out a couple of blog posts every week. No, I mean, try to provide relevant educational information to your readers. And if possible, jump into video content as well, because that's exploding right now. And many people are trying to consume content in the video form. Sometimes you'll find that it's much easier to just sit down and watch a YouTube video or watch a vlog than to try reading and following a long article that's explained in like 10 pages or 15 pages. Last but not least, even if Google and Facebook crack down on crypto ads, all is not doomed, because dedicated crypto ad networks such as Coinzilla emerged on the market to fill the void that the large advertising networks left. So, for example, at Coinzilla, we deliver around 1 billion impressions per month, and we do that through various websites and apps, including Crypto Potato or Etherscan or the Crypto app. Through our platform, advertisers can also create display, native, or pop-under campaigns and target their audiences based on various metrics, including location or device. And we also offer a variety of banner types, including static, dynamic, like HTML5 banners. And also to provide the complete advertising solution, we developed Coinzilla Marketplace, which is a place for advertisers to help them distribute their sponsored content on hand-picked crypto publishers. So you can, for example, make a big announcement and develop and distribute it on major crypto publications, or have organic articles published about your project. But I don't want to turn this into a promotional moment. So if you need more information about our platform, you can check out our website at coinzilla.com, or you can get in touch with one of our account managers, and they're going to help you get accustomed to everything that we do and all the solutions that we provide for new projects and for old projects as well. I hope this session helped cover a little bit and demystify a little bit the actions that you should take as a new project, and in terms of marketing. And thank you for your attention. Good luck with the next sessions, and have a great day.
In a world where remarkable crypto projects are launched every day, how do you make yours stand out? We may have an answer. Meet Coinzilla. Coinzilla helps entrepreneurs put a spotlight on their crypto project. By using display, native, or press release advertising, you can reach millions of crypto enthusiasts everywhere. That's right, everywhere. And it's not even that difficult. Sign up, create your campaigns, and start advertising. No muss, no fuss. You have full control over your account, and our advertising experts are ready to help you at any step of the way. And hey, hundreds of advertisers and websites from all over the world can't be wrong. So join us now, and let's drive your project into a new digital world together.
Welcome to the Theta Network. Earn T-Fuel crypto rewards simply by watching live streams and videos. As you watch and share with others, you're contributing to the decentralized Theta Network, all powered by Theta's native blockchain. Discover the future of video delivery at thetanetwork.org.
Thanks to Bogdan for valuable insights on marketing for cryptocurrency projects. Our next guest is coming up. It's Zheng, Head of Development at Blockchain Founders Group. He will speak on a topic, venture capital and crypto incubation in Central Europe. Hello, Max.
So first of all, thanks, Maxime, for the invitation to Synopsis. I'm very happy to be here the second time, now representing Blockchain Founders Group again. So let me briefly share my screen and then jump right into it. So I hope you can see my screen now. So Blockchain Founders Group, who are we? What are we doing? Today, I, again, will be representing Blockchain Founders Group. We are a blockchain company builder as well as venture capital firm located in Central Europe. We have headquarters in Germany and in Liechtenstein. So before we jump into the details, let me just briefly give an overview of who we are exactly. And essentially, we are quite young. We've been established in 2021. And these are just some companies with some new additions that we invested into in the past years. In total, we invested in more than 30 blockchain crypto companies. Since we're a VC, we receive pitch decks a lot. So last year or up until today, we received over 300 pitch decks. And we also, again, built our own companies. And until today, we have built 10 blockchain startups from scratch. So how does that exactly work is that, basically we take entrepreneurs, we stuff them with ideas, or we ideate ideas together, and then we build them from scratch. But details to this will be presented in a second. So again, we do two things. The venture capital side we do with BlockRocket. BlockRocket is part of Blockchain Founders Group. Together, we invest up to 500,000 euros per ticket, so quite early stage. And today, since I am responsible for the company building side, I will be presenting Blockchain Founders Group Superstars, which is our incubation program where we incubate pre-seed ideas and invest in blockchain talents. So here you can see who we are sort of connected with. The top 5 people are the board of directors, quite blockchain natives, and at the bottom you see various people from different sectors in the blockchain world, targeted mainly in Central Europe, Germany, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein, of course. So there we have a lot of representatives from law, blockchain crypto companies, as well as data and other industries. And yeah, so today I want to give a brief overview of the crypto incubation program that we are launching, which is called BFG Superstars. And in a nutshell, we can launch a blockchain idea within 2 to 3 months. And our main goal is that you, or specifically entrepreneurs who are aiming to start their blockchain venture or blockchain journey, start with us within our network. We can validate together, we can test together, we provide you with our resources in our network, and then you will receive compensation in the end, or let's say after 2 to 3 months, you will have the possibility to run your own blockchain startup. There are no really prerequisites. We, of course, look for great talents, great entrepreneurs, but you don't have to have a team. You don't have to specifically have an idea or anything. We can work on it together. That's our mission, sort of. And what is the focus for this year, or the second batch? The focus is clearly crypto-related topics. Specifically, we want to go for DeFi projects, NFT projects, DAO. We also want to focus on the Metaverse, on-chain analytics, Dataverse, crypto trading. All these areas are quite hot. This is not a secret anymore. I think the Metaverse is booming, and therefore this is definitely the focus for the second cohort. Again, the target group are great entrepreneurs, talents who might not be perfect, but nobody's perfect. So our goal is that we have suitable candidates who together we can build blockchain startups with. The program duration is in total 12 weeks, so exactly 3 months. And in the end, you will have the chance again to receive 60,000 euros for your venture. In the meanwhile, you will also receive compensation, and the intake size is around 50 people per cohort. We will launch 2 per year, 2 cohorts per year, and the goal is to fund and finance over 10 blockchain startups. Last time I presented at Synopsis, we were still in the midst of the first cohort, and actually last week we invested into 5 crypto startup. So that is exactly 3 months up until today. So I'm quite confident that we can do this again, right, for the second cohort. Yeah, so maybe some statistics. We have published over 100 blog articles. This is the result of a lot of research in the hottest topics. We conducted a lot of experts interviews, and most importantly, we grew our internal network or our talents pool to over 350 individuals who could, help you out, who could be joining your team, who could do research in any various fields. So the talents pool is quite important, is a quite important asset. Yeah. And how does it exactly work, or what do we do? You can imagine we have the BFG core. The BFG core helps you in all areas that is not the core business. So we do the IT, general IT, we do design, we can help with finance, and also with business and legal advisory. This is quite important because we believe that entrepreneurs and founders should always focus on the core business, which is the business model, right? And not be sort of, hindered by any technical problems that arise. And we have the competences in this field. Our team is well equipped, and this is exactly how we help. How is the program schedule? It starts, of course, with the application, and then there's going to be an onboarding phase, and then step 3 will be the build phase. So to sum it up really briefly, we ideate together an idea, we validate it together with our network, then we test it, and then we launch it. And then in step 4, we will have a pitch in front of our investment team, investment committee, and then we will make the decision whether you will receive 60,000 euros or not. And then in the post-funding step, the last step, you will work on developing a product. This is roughly the schedule. So if you are interested in our past achievements, again, in May 2022, so last month, we invested in 5 crypto startups from the first cohort. If you're interested, please scan the QR code, then it will lead you to the season 1 participants. Feel free to check it out. And yeah, this is already, the very brief pitch about Blockchain Founders Group, specifically our incubation program. If you're interested, please reach out to me, or if you have any questions, also reach out to me. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn for any touch points that we may have, and then we can discuss any consolation. Thank you for your time and listening to this short overview.
Welcome to the Theta Network. Earn T-Fuel crypto rewards simply by watching live streams and videos. As you watch and share with others, you're contributing to the decentralized Theta Network, all powered by Theta's native blockchain. Discover the future of video delivery at thetanetwork.org.
So if you're targeting the Central European market, take the advice of Max into account. Thank you for your performance. And we move on to the next guest. Say hello to Robyn Linn, co-founder at Better Platform. Robyn is going to tell us about incorporating business revenue streams into blockchain projects. Hello, Robyn, welcome.
Thank you so much, Maxim. It is a pleasure to be here at the Synopsis with Coindar. I am Robyn Linn with Better Platform and going to introduce you to Skylabs as well as some innovations that Better is working on in the blockchain space to innovate blockchain projects. And this is really to support those of you. I've just finished 3 events globally in Europe. We were in Croatia, we were in Rome, and we were in Berlin. And throughout this European tour for blockchain innovation, I've been meeting with the devs all around the world, specifically in Europe, with the same intention to get their project out in the market, to be seen, to be heard, to build their communities, and of course, to become the innovator in the space. And so the developers that I spoke to, they were all very passionate about their projects. And a lot of them were having some challenges. And some of these challenges are actually some of the things that I'm going to share with you guys today. So this is for those of you who are cryptocurrency investors, whether it's DeFi, Web3 beyond, and also those of you who are in the blockchain as developers. So I'm speaking to 2 different audiences here today. And I want to share with those of you how to truly integrate your blockchain project into a sustainable business model. This is not something that a lot of developers actually know how to do, let alone do well. And as part of Better, when we were working with our community, it's a crowdsourced model. One of the things that we realized in vetting projects around the world onto DeFi and to the Binance Smart Chain, what we realized was a lot of these up and coming projects did not know how to properly build sustainable business models. So I want to talk to you about that. So Better is creating an incubator. We're actually launching 2 new launch pads, Skylabs and VSale. VSale is going to be a revenue generator for the ecosystem and to satisfy our holders, of course, and the whale groups that come in. And Skylabs is a high tier launchpad incubator that will allow whale groups, that will allow those of you who are investors to know that these are the top tier projects that you want to pay attention to. So they're going to meet extremely high criteria, more so than any other launchpad. So we're really excited to be able to introduce this to our audience and the global audience. So what, of course, we know is that we need to use the right tools and we need the right resources in order to get the right kind of information, not just internally to our team, but of course, to be able to execute properly. One of the things that our team found really interesting was that last year in 2021 alone, 16,000 projects within the past year were launched in Web3 DeFi. 16,000 projects. So of course, with Better, and which is why Better came to be, we had a group of people working together in this crowdsourced model, and we were all sorting for criteria. We had a strategy. We have a strategy that we work with in order to find out what project is likely going to 2x to 100x or more after the project launches. And so we found the right kind of system and approach and criteria, which came to be the Better ecosystem and CrowdX calendar. And so as we were working together, we actually realized that we could sort through a lot more projects working together. And that's why out of all the chaos in the industry, we actually found a really great solution. And CrowdX calendar, the Better ecosystem, is a proper utility and has a very strong use case. So with all of this going on, how do you actually stand out when you are launching your project? How do you actually launch properly? And how do you actually effectively raise the funds to build your project and also build your community? How do you bring your project to the forefront? Meaning, how do people actually receive you? We call this audience attraction, which leads to how do you actually get attention from the right people? So a lot of times developers who I ended up vetting and who I speak to, who come to me all the time asking for advice in the space of blockchain that meets business development, a lot of times they have challenges in getting attention from the right audience because there's so much hype in the industry. So a lot of developers actually will piggyback that momentum and actually speak to the hype instead of speaking to what's important. So there are so many challenges here. And one of the biggest challenges, and now this is aside from projects that launch with the intentional hype, with the zero use case. So I was early on, before we actually launched Vetter Token, before October of 2021, I was actually in communication with developers who are launching projects. And in one of the meetings I had with 3 developers, they were in this private meeting with myself and a big time actor. And they had the actor as an influencer on Twitter. So they paid the actor in their native token that hadn't launched yet. And in this meeting, a private meeting, myself, his agent, the actor, and 3 of the developers of this new project about to launch, in an undertone, they were snickering about how excited they were to get this project hyped up within 3 to 6 weeks, dump the tokens and move into 20 projects that they had lined up with other celebrity influencers. So this, of course, had my heart sink, the pit of my stomach dropped, because I care about investors, I care about people, and I want to support projects that actually have solid use cases, that actually are not going to buy into the pump and dump hype in order to make money alone, but actually they care about the well-being of people and people's sovereignty, financial freedom. They don't want to create the hype and then have people get in at the top and then basically leave that project, basically do a rug pull and then jump into other projects. This happens so many times over and over again. And sometimes the intention is that, sometimes it's not, but they get caught up in the hype. And it's kind of the only solution they see if they don't have a proper infrastructure in place, proper revenue streams in place, which I'm going to speak to, and the right kind of people working for their team. If that's not in place, sometimes, the 1 to 3 developers creating the project, get hungry and decide to dump their own token because it's sometimes the only option instead of doing things right. So not every developer can do things right because sometimes they don't have what they need. And so that's why Vetter and Skylabs is so important to the industry to help raise that integrity. So these challenges are real and they're going on whether you see it or not. And sometimes when you get into projects or when you're working with developers, regardless of your role in blockchain and cryptocurrency, you know that this is going on whether you've had firsthand in this or not. So aside from the projects that launch with the intention to fail, a lot of devs don't know how to go beyond the adaptability. I was actually in Berlin at the Oracle event, and one of the developers said they invested over $1 million into building a DApp, an application, and then had to let that go to build something else because the industry changed so quickly. And so a lot of times developers don't have the ability, don't have the resources to know how to adapt. They don't have the team. They don't have the proper planning in place to know how to do that. So they wing it. Most developers really just aren't prepared to navigate the space, especially if they don't have that team in place. So this is a multifaceted arena, as you all know. There's so much going on. I won't get into all of this. I've mentioned some of it. Trustworthiness, experienced devs is one of the biggest things that I have seen, and one of the loudest conversations I have heard in the events that I've been at, the blockchain events globally. So we need these things in place in order to make it, in order to succeed, not just in the first 3 weeks or 3 months, but long-term growth year after year. We need to be able to adapt, yes, but also we need to be built for long-term growth and scale. We have to have all of this in place, a well-executed marketing strategy, experience in cryptocurrency and business, and of course, being able to raise the funds and utilize the funds properly. But again, one of the biggest pieces I have realized in our own team development with Vetter, and also in interviewing other devs and hearing from them around the world, trustworthy team members is one of the most challenging things to do. And so they end up keeping their small team intact because they can trust them, rather than, risking it in hiring other devs or other professionals. So they end up outsourcing way too much, outsourcing because they don't want to have people too close into their community. It's very challenging to build that trust. And so I want to share something, this is not only about a great vision. I want to just share really quickly Omar versus the gaming project. There were two projects that came to me for AMAs in Vetter in our Telegram group. And Vetter loves to introduce developing projects to our community to give them the opportunity to hear firsthand from the developers what's going on and if it's something they want to get involved with. So Vetter considers itself a whale group, and Vetter does attract a lot of whale groups. Omar, traditional business, real estate, made millions of dollars, put his money into his project, outsourced 100% of it, didn't trust anyone, didn't know anything about blockchain. Gaming project didn't have as high of a quality of a use case or utility to their project. However, they had a core team of over 25 people before pre-launch, right before launch, who already had the entity set up, who already had everything in place, blockchain advisor in-house, developing the project in-house, all of the revenue streams into the project in-house. And again, this project was set up for success right from the get-go. Omar's not. And so within just a handful of minutes, in speaking to Omar, I knew he was not going to make it. And he actually sent me a Telegram message during his pre-sale saying that he did not make it, asking for advice. The gaming project went on to succeed, and I believe did about an 18x after they launched. So there's a lot to be said when you can actually, of course, as an investor, know what you're looking for to see, oh, this is going to do a 2x to 100x or more. I understand it meets the criteria, versus actually, I can see that your project isn't going to make it. And, you need help, you need support. And that's why Vetter Skylab's Launchpad is really important, to be able to give developers an opportunity to make it, who actually have a strong, solid use case. So the pre-launch vetting, you really want to understand, this trustworthy, dedicated team. You want your tech and software development built in-house, or at least to be able to have an in-house dev that works with the outsourcing team. You want to know how to be able to adapt with the innovations. You want to be able to move at the speed, but also not move at the speed of light, because you need to have things working and solid and grounded in order to connect and communicate your vision properly to your audience. You need to be able to have the business structure and marketing strategy in place, and you need to be able to build a community and have that onboarding support. It's extremely crucial. The other piece is audience attraction and engagement, which a lot of projects think that they can just wing the process of their Telegram or Discord group or their communication. A lot of projects don't know that they need an in-house communicator to be able to articulate properly the message to their audience, to be able to build that engagement, to keep the engagement going. Momentum is everything in this industry, and you need to be able to have someone in your team, in your community, who knows how to be able to communicate the vision, who's on top of what's going on, but also can stay really grounded and not in a chaotic, hypey space, which is what I love about what I get to do with Vetter. So the $1 billion question, yes, with a B, the $1 billion question is the project, your project, any project that you're looking to get invested into, is it developing a revenue stream or multiple revenue streams, hopefully, are multiple revenue streams built into the business model with your project or with the project that you're looking to get into? That's the billion-dollar question, and that's something that Mark Cuban, whether you love him or not, on Shark Tank, a couple of months ago, I was watching Shark Tank, and Mark Cuban said, I would not be a billionaire if I had just kept on raising money over and over again. And this is so crucial because a lot of projects end up thinking that they can go into version 2 of their token or start building into their smart contract more, into the original model without actually having revenue streams built in. They're not actually focusing on the business infrastructure. They're thinking about the technology, which is great. We want that, but we also have to have that balanced equally with the business infrastructure and revenue streams built in. So it's so crucial to the project to be able to succeed. You don't want to have to fundraise over and over. The project will not make it if you have to keep relying on fundraising, whether that's with your current community, with private sale, or doing another launch again publicly, or raising capital with venture capitalists. You want your business model to have multiple revenue streams. And so don't just take it from me, my experience here, but take it also from Mark Cuban, who is a billionaire. So I want you to just imagine for a moment being able to take a deep breath and relax in the ecosystem that is DeFi, that is blockchain, that is cryptocurrency, the speed at which it is becoming so rapid in the growth, so rapid in the innovation, so much that has not yet existed in the industry that is blockchain, Web3 and beyond. As Jack Dorsey is talking about Web5, he's already rushing into something else that has not existed before. There's so much innovation. And that means there's a lot that we can get overwhelmed by. And so what we want to do is we want to be able to really ground ourselves and create ease, especially when we're looking at a lot of money that we're investing into projects, our time that is precious, and of course, the projects that we build. So we want to be able to navigate launches with ease and also with integrity. And so that's what a Vetter platform, the Vetter ecosystem, and Skylab's Launchpad is really all about. So CrowdX is what I mentioned earlier, which is the calendar that is the crowdsourced model, the DAO model that revolutionizes the crypto research market. It's a research tool, and you can come in as a member. You can invest in the project. We have tiers. So it is basically you come in at tier 1, 2, 3, or 4. You access information in the calendar. Tier 4 is the highest. You get access to the color-coded ranking system, the D app. If you come in and look, you'll see that at tier 4, you can actually sort and see purple scouts. And purple scouts are what allow you to know the validity of projects. Purple scouts have a tendency of picking projects that 2x or more, 2x to 100x or more after the projects that they posted launched. And so when you find purple scouts on our platform and you see the vetting that is done, which you get access to additional information through this sorting feature in the research tool that is the CrowdX calendar in the Vetter platform, you will be able to find quality projects that will likely 2x or more after the project launches, and you do this research in just a handful of minutes. So I look at projects, immediately know if I want to get in or out within about 30 seconds because of my vetting capability. Obviously, if you stick around and learn more about Vetter, your awareness of the industry will rise, and you'll know how to assess projects much quicker. So CrowdX is that crowdsourcing model, and we've gained a lot of insight and awareness in the industry working with the crowdsourcing model, and of course using the D app. And you can find that at vetterplatform.app, vetterplatform.app. You can find more about everything that's going on. We also have videos as well that share more about this, and I will be sharing more in Vetter University, interviewing devs around the world, sharing all about blockchain innovation, Web3 and beyond. So CrowdX and the Vetter ecosystem is a really powerful place to really do better research and have that ease, not the hype, so that you know what project you're getting into, because all of the projects on our platform have information. Some of the projects have been vetted to such a high level that you just know what you're getting into, and it's much easier to navigate and get into projects and to feel good about it. Skylabs is the ecosystem that devs with utility use cases are going to be launching from. Skylabs, we are launching in about a month from now. We are very excited to launch Vetter Skylabs Launchpad, which will be vetting and KYCing developers. They'll have to KYC with us. They'll need to have a strong, solid utility or use case with their project. They'll need to meet our Vetter standards and criteria to launch on the Skylabs Launchpad. And there will be less projects because we're only going to be accepting the top tier projects on Skylabs. And so that's why we'll also have VSale, which will be more of a revenue model for the ecosystem. When we launch Skylabs token, VSL, Vetter Skylabs, the token, in about a month, we'll also be launching staking. Now, the cool thing with Skylabs I do want to mention is that if you have allocations, if you have tokens, a certain number of tokens give you access to more allocations. You get actually access to the projects that are launching without needing to get involved. So I'll share it with you in another way. 20% of revenue that comes from Skylabs Launchpad goes to our stakeholders. And based on the number of allocations you have, you will be given tokens from the projects that launch on our Launchpad based on the number of allocations you have. So if you have one allocation, you get equivalent of the project that launches on the platform. Immediately, you get the native token that's launching on the platform. You don't have to be involved in the private sale or pre-sale. The system itself, Skylabs, will be buying the token and sharing the token with you as being having allocations in the Launchpad. 20% of revenue goes to our stakeholders, which is so cool. The other thing is when you also hold our native token, Vetter token, which is part of the CrowdX model. So you have Vetter token and you have allocations in Skylabs. You also get a multiplier based on the volume of the Skylabs token. And the multiplier goes up to 20x when you're holding both Vetter token and Skylabs token. You get that multiplier on top with the staking. So it is so incredible. Our holders, hodlers are very happy. We have many whales in our community who just love the community, who buy on the dip, which is the smartest thing to do. And they know where Vetter is going and they love supporting it. And they love being a part of what we're doing, innovating. The cool thing with CrowdX is where we started off with a tax and we're reducing it, moving down towards 0% because we're looking to launch on centralized exchanges, and we have talks with the big names. So we're looking to do that very soon. And again, Skylabs is going to be launching the token and the staking within about a month or so. And then about 6 weeks from there, give or take, we will be launching the actual launchpad of Skylabs and launching projects off of it, starting with the Binance Smart Chain and then multi-chain from there. So I'm Robyn, Linn. I'm so inspired to share this with you. If you have any questions, that QR code actually goes to our website. The website is going to be shifting in the upcoming weeks to share with you more about Skylabs Launchpad. So we're going to be sharing with you more. We're going to have footage of our events as well, sharing with you more information about everything we've learned going through Europe, traveling, meeting devs around the world, vetting projects. We're really excited to share more with you. So if you have any questions and you are a developer, you're looking to develop your project and you'd like to talk to see if you qualify for Vetter Skylabs Launchpad or VSale, reach out to me. Telegram is a great way to reach out. I'm Robyn, Linn, and it's just been a pleasure speaking to the Synopsis here. Thank you again, Maxim. Thank you again, Coindar. Robyn, Linn here with Vetter. Skylabs is excited to meet you guys. So join our Telegram group, visit our website with everything you need. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you in our community. I'm Robyn, Linn with Vetter, guys. Bye for now. Thank you so much.
So our next guest is Artak, co-founder of adlaundry.com. The topic of his speech is how big a community do crypto projects need for a successful IDO? Crypto projects that are preparing for an offering, this is a presentation for you. Artak, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, friends. My name is Artak. Thanks to Synopsis team for giving the opportunity to so many amazing speakers to speak today. Today, the Laundry team and I showing for the first time a special analytical report that we collected a few days ago. The topic of my speech is how big the community should be in order to assemble a successful IDO. But as you understand, there are a lot of pitfalls here, and I will try to cover them. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm co-founder of The Laundry. We are creating an analytical and marketing platform for Web3 projects. While the platform are in development, we're providing marketing services, create analytical reports, and help crypto projects develop, attract an audience, and fulfill marketing goals. You can see some of my results on the slide, and now let's go. Although May was very sad for us, and even the Ad Laundry had an investor fall off, although everything was very smooth. Yes, we are fundraising now, write to you if you are interested. We have collected information on projects that have successful collected idea during this bear market, and completely soft cap was collected by 10 projects from the 50 most famous launch pads. The minimum amount of the fee is $50,000. I want to say the minimum amount of raised money was $50,000, and the maximum is 10 times more, $500,000. What is noteworthy is that 6 out of 10 projects are play-to-earn projects, and one is a play-to-earn ecosystem, another is platform for viewing games moments, watch game videos, and earn money, and the last 2 are move-to-earn projects, like mostly known famous Step N. The first thought that I want to say is numbers often lie to us, especially on social networks, where the more these numbers, the cooler you are. It's very easy to cheat here. However, they are not always decided on proposed fake account, sometimes come due to the fact that projects don't know which marketing channels to use. But well, get to the truth. Let's start with the analytics of Telegram. Here at Telegram chats, we collected all the data on chat participants and divided it into active and inactive. An active audience is one whose status during comparison was online or was online recently. Those who have not been online for more than a week, month, year, we refer to the inactive audience. In most cases, these are most likely fake accounts, multi-coins or bounty hunters, and so on. We see that the active audience is actually on average about 50% of the total number of participants. But how much does it matter? Pay attention to the Fresh Cut project, which raised a maximum of $500,000. Its audience is less than 10,000, but there is a very high percentage of the active audience. And now pay attention to the Nomad Land and Outlander projects. You can see huge indicators of the numbers of participants, but the first project collected the minimum $50,000 and the second $100,000. And if you really look closer, there are fewer of those who write messages, and this is the number of a truly active audience. Here you can see the number of people who have written 1, 2, or 3 or more messages in the chat. The data on the total number of messages in the chat is also presented. As you can understand, chat activity is great, but it's often fake too. The most interesting indicators of the numbers of users who have written 3 or more messages. Look the Outlander, which was in second place in the number of subscribers in the chat, has a minimum value, and Nomadland, with a maximum value of participants in the chat, has fewer such people than Freshcat. Second thought is, it doesn't matter how many subscribers a project has. What matters is who they are. Let's move to the Twitter. And here we guessed project followers and decided to see who they are. In fact, we had more divisions by the number of their audience, but for clarity, we combined them. There is also a lot of space for a more detailed analytic here, but we want to show this part. The spread is from 20K followers for Freshcat and up to 100,000 followers for Snake City. Both collected $500,000 on IDO. But the difference in follows is 5 times. So why? It should be noted that there are not so many followers who may have some influence on the projects. There are not so many key opinion leaders. The goal of marketing on Twitter is to attract community with relative to the total number, with communities that can give opinion of the project, can attract more community to them. The goal is to get the attention of the people. The rest will come after them. And the number of these followers at Freshcat and Snake City is almost the same. Look, Freshcat have about 1,200 followers with 1,000+ audience, and Snake City have 1,200 also. And all numbers of followers with 1,000+ audience are about the same. The third thought today is that not all is gold what sparkles. Projects spend a lot of money on marketing, but these results are not always good. Here we can see the number of mentions of projects on YouTube and Twitter, as well as the total number of views of all videos with a mention on YouTube. It's very important to approach the issue of choosing influencers and marketing correctly, because most of them are scams and there are not too many good influencers. Look at the number of mentions on Twitter of Outlander and Nomadland. The numbers are very huge, yeah? But what about their quality? So together with AdLaundry, we provided this report. We are helping build really strong communities, attract high quality and real users, create partnerships. I hope you realize that answering the questions in the participation topic, that size doesn't matter, especially the numbers that are available to everyone. And do the right analysis. If you are interested in such reports, you want to work with us, or just chat, write to me. In Telegram or by mail, on mail, you can see that it's my Gmail, Artak alex.seyranyan@gmail.com. And thank you for attention. Goodbye. I think it can be useful for you.
Imagine a lake with clear water and unpolluted air. Imagine a website with real news and no hidden, unlabeled, sponsored articles masquerading as real news. That place exists, and it's called Be in Crypto, the first and only cryptocurrency news portal to provide complete transparency and honest news. Pure, relevant, informative. Are you in?
Thanks, Artak, and I hope that the target audience of your presentation took note of these tips. And guess what's the next on our agenda? Yeah, this is a panel discussion, but I will not be moderated by me this time. It's going to be moderated by the chairman, Serafima Semkina, CEO of Synopsis, and a crypto advisor, together with the CMO at Tiger Trade, Marina Trofimova, marketing associated at Woo Network, Julia Bulak, and founder of DAO Art.Ethereum, Ilya Orlov. Serafima and experts will continue to develop the topic marketing in the cryptocurrency market, which opened today's stream. So we will continue in a few moments. Meet our experts.
Hello, hi everyone. Welcome everyone to Synopsis and to this wonderful panel where we're going to talk about marketing in crypto and all the new trends. And as we know, with the change of internet, with the change of technologies and rapid increase in implementation of Web3 everywhere, the trends change and marketing is affected by that. Today we're going to discuss how the social media has evolved. How can we look at our users and how can we better position our products? And I would like to introduce to you my panel here today is Marina Trofimova, Crypto Red Fox. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. It's really good to be here today. Well, I'm a CMO, Chief Marketing Officer of Tiger Trade and Tiger Trade Copy. And my marketing experience is about 16 years. And the last 6 years, I'm in crypto.
Thank you, Marina. Also, we have with us Julia Bulak from Woo Network. Julia, word to you.
Hi, everyone. I'm very pleased to be here today. I work for marketing team of Woo Network, and for this project, marketing is quite challenging because we have a wide range of products, and we take different approach to each of them, because it includes centralized exchange, decentralized exchange, DAO. So my background is in content writing, content marketing, and with more traditional marketing and growth marketing. I'm familiar through cryptocurrency and through Web3 space. So this would be a very interesting discussion for me.
Cool, nice to have you here today. Thank you. And Undercorn with us. Ilya, over to you. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Undercorn speaking here. I'm in crypto since 2016, and I have been working on various products in the crypto space. For me, Web 3.0 is not just a technology or a sphere to work in. For me, it is more like ideology. And today I will be speaking about community marketing and all kind of different aspects of our amazing and innovative sphere.
Thank you, Undercorn. Very nice to meet you guys here. And to kick off our discussion, I would like to start with a kind of chicken and the egg question. And I don't think that there is a right answer, and it would be interesting to hear your points of view. So for a crypto startup, how to kick off fast growth? What is the most important? Growth marketing to get a user base or product development? Let's start with Julia.
Okay, this is definitely a question with a very, very open answer, and I think it depends on the product itself, right? What is the main goal of the product? What is the main goal of the whole project? But definitely in cryptocurrency, and when we're speaking about this industry, community building and building the user growth, building the user base is probably more important than in any other industry, because the token future, the future of the tech initiatives depends heavily on number of users and number of core supporters and core contributors to the product. So right, I think now I can talk about my my personal experience and experience of WU Network. This question was actually raised in our team a week ago. Like internally, we were discussing. We had a very interesting answers to this, because for each member of the team, like their priorities depend on from which team they're actually speaking. So a lot, like the majority, picked growth marketing as the main driver for growth. This is I agree that this is very, very important when like to have this user base, to bring brand awareness, to bring the product awareness, to cater to the correct people, and to make sure that your product would be supported from the early stage, especially for like for our tech industry. But from my personal experience, because I've been working in different cryptocurrency projects throughout like 4 or 5 years, and as I know, for marketing or for a BD person, it becomes much easier to target users. It becomes much easier to speak about the product, to make deals, to establish new connections when there is a product, a solid product that can be valued in the market. So when personally I would be answering this question, marketing of course can exist without the product, but it's a very short term like strategy. If you want to create something long-term, something valuable, then product should be definitely a priority, because even for like us, for people in marketing, it would be much easier to like to speak about the product that makes makes people use it because it's reliable, because it's game changing, because it's secure, right? If all these aspects are absent, it becomes a bit of an issue for a marketing team. So I would choose product here.
Wonderful choice, and absolutely, it's impossible for marketing team to keep community engaged without providing product updates if the company is product oriented from the very beginning. Although I'm pretty sure, being masters of marketing and community builders as you are, you guys know some ways around it, or how to maintain team when there are no real technical updates to come out this week and so on. Marina, what's your take? What is prime and foremost, growth marketing or product development?
Yeah, guys, I guess that in the beginning of their path, most of projects have just an idea and look for investors so they can implement it into real life. But investors prefer a project with MVPs, communities, and sales. So how to deal with it? Make a marketing without product. First of all, make an excellent package. Landing page, white paper, presentations, it all have to have consist screens, schemes, and roadmap of your potential product. If you have a code, place it to GitHub and do everything to prove investors that it's not just an idea, it's a project on its start, and they can catch a potential unicorn. Then build a community. It's a must. Your community are your potential users, and it's the best way to show interest to a project. So community is the first thing investors, funds, and exchanges are paying attention to. To be listed on the Tier 2 exchange, you have to have at least 15,000 subscribers in your Telegram, Discord, or Twitter. And to be listed in the Tier 1 exchange, you have to have more than 30,000. So, by the way, they also check engagement rate, so you can just buy users. And make a massive PR. The more mentions you have in trusted medias, the more trust you get to your project. And place these logos of these authorities medias on your landing page. And share all these articles with your community, and ask them to share these articles too. As you have no PR mentions, it seems like you do not exist. And make a whitelist of your potential users to show investors the real interest in your projects, because all the investors, they're your potential buyers. That's
Okay, so Marina is citing that projects can be kicked off just on marketing and raise up money into get the development. Underkong, what is your vision? How do you approach this, and how can community drive that?
So I would like to agree with Yulia and Marina. They are telling like exactly the right things, and they absolutely have described in details what is actually happening on the market. So, but sometimes, I have a feeling that Web 3.0, it's about like true building. It's about innovations. It's about creating something what's going to change the world, what no one has seen, creating new mechanics. But sometimes I have a feeling as if we have been taken hostages, as a hostage, like in this capitalistic consumption world, and everyone is just trying to run after numbers. At the end of the day, most of the projects, they all are talking about community, but at the end of the day, everyone is treating their community just as customers. They just want them like to buy their tokens, or just create an activity in their social media. As for me, I was also part of this game, and every time things were getting commercial, and like every time you get an angel investor, he's dragging the whole team into this commercial style startup building way. And I believe this is the wrong approach. And I believe that young startuppers and builders, they shouldn't listen to these guys from this old world. They have built already the Web 2.0, and we see where all their plans have led us. Because the Web 2.0 became like the true evil, And I believe that Web 3.0, as for me, it's more like ideological thing. It's not just like a technology. It's ideology that's going to change everything in this world. It's going to change our social life and the way people cooperate and communicate with each other, the way communities cooperate with each other, and so on. So as for me, of course, you need a landing page, you need like a community, and you need social media. But as for me, it's not about, running up to numbers. It's about building something amazing, building it with the open heart, like with your open mind, believing in it. And the more you do that, the more people at the end of the day will really feel that. I really believe that the best projects have been built, by true believers. And if you really do that, then everything will come, and then the community will come, because people, they feel it. They feel like sometimes, of course, they participate in the money grabs and scams, but at the end of the day, this kind of projects, they will never survive. As one of the good examples, I would like to, to mention here, like the worldwide known OpenSea, right? It was already there in 2017, and they haven't been making any noise. Like everyone was like kind of a little bit even laughing about them, because like who's gonna buy all these pictures? But these guys, they had the vision, and they were building through the crypto winter, and then we saw where they have landed, So as for me, of course, it's if you shouldn't. Unfortunately, something's wrong with my internet, right, guys? I'm sorry. Yeah, because at the end of the day, unfortunately, we live in the world of noise, and sometimes we just also must participate in that game as well. But still, I believe the foremost important is the product itself and the idea in it.
Thank you, Artak. Thank you. Well, indeed, there is no right answer or wrong, and we can approach, probably depending on different state where startup is, we can prioritize one or another. But as mentioned, with Web3, community plays more and more role, and we want a community to be engaged and to actually have voting power. We're building DAOs and Web3, and one of the example of a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, is DAO of the WU network. And I want to ask Julia to tell us more about WU Force Ambassador program and how does that DAO contribute to its marketing?
Okay, thanks. Right, when we're thinking how we can, first of all, empower our community and give them more incentives to participate, to be an active part of our project, we realized that the new innovative way to do that would be to establish DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. So we see it as the kind of extension of our company. So every employee treats the DAO member as their like team, as their very close friend. And how it looks right now, we are operating a DAO, and we have one of the like biggest treasuries throughout the industry. Last year, we allocated 300 million WU tokens to it. So there is quite a size, and we established this ambassador program, WU Force. Every person can participate and can contribute in several different ways. First, there are 4 committees. For example, treasury committee. So the treasury management committee, they are in charge. They're all very knowledgeable DeFi researchers, and they participate not because like they want to earn, but because they want to explore more. They are in DeFi already, and their task is to allocate our treasury funds to correct places. For example, where we should provide more liquidity, where we should take our tokens from, for example, moving them through different protocols. As I know, right now there are pools on Uniswap v3 and on Bancor, so stuff like that. So they're deciding which protocol would be best for us, and they're moving the funds. Now, I'm working more closely with the growth committee. And the growth committee is kind of an ambassador program, but in a decentralized way. So we set up our regional communities with the help of these ambassadors who are like part of this whole force. There are monthly like grants and bounties for something that we need. For example, if we need to open a new channel or set up a blog in different language or make some UI translation, that is like people can apply to do this job for us, and they will get compensated. And there are also ongoing initiatives. There are plenty of people who are willing to promote our exchange, who are using their referral links. They are also incentivized with like tiers, upgrades, their referral bonuses, upgrades. So they know that they're working. They're kind of a marketing team, and they're working actively, and it's definitely two-sided benefits. And what's more amazing, that it's all happening in very, very decentralized ways. So we, in some cases, they don't even need to reveal their personality. It's just they're paid for how much they contribute, and it's all tracked on chain. So I think like this is the future, and we're really proud to have this this community program. By the way, yeah, we're always looking for new members. So if you're interested, you can go and check the DAO.
What an amazing initiative! Thank you, Julia. And as we said today, it's all about passing the power to the community, and it's wonderful to see truly operational DAO, which are rare at the moment, and it's ever so challenging to switch to that operational mode for startup. Ambassador program being one of those, what are other tools and marketing sort of tricks, or the most trustworthy go-to instruments can we use in marketing and crypto marketing, and which of those would be more suitable for startups with a smaller budget? Marina, can I direct this question to you, please?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for questions, Serafima. Just a second, sorry. Something wrong with my voice. Well, there are a lot of marketing tools on the table, and some of them are just waste of time and money, honestly. But there is a pool of my favorite tools, which are appropriate for projects with who are on a very low budget. So the first one is AMAS. It's Ask Me Anything sessions. They are in the top of my list. Because to build the trust and get the new blood to your community, you have to do both. You can make regular AMAs on your platform, for example, on your YouTube channel, or have partnership AMAs in the relevant channels. This way, you won't spend anything at all, and you will manage to increase activity in your community and get new users to your community too. Well, the second tool is shilling, seeding, or whatever it calls. It's then people make native comments slightly mentioning advantages of your product. It is cheap and a very fruitful way to reinforce any of your activities, PR, calls, or social media marketing. And the third one is co-marketing. If you're on the start and on the low budget, cooperate with other projects with the same target audience and make some raffles, AMAs, co-promos on win-to-win terms with another way to get new potentials investors for absolutely free. That's it.
Thank you, Marina. Well, I believe that's very useful, and people who are watching us might get some tips here. Let's continue.
I'm sorry. I have something to add up here.
Absolutely, please.
Actually, yeah, from our experience, we kind of bumped into a very, very effective and low budget way to do the product marketing and for our decentralized exchange, and that was mind-blowing how effective that was, thanks to one pretty well-known project. It's called Project Galaxy. We established decentralized credentials for our users in the form of NFT. So what that company is doing, they created a platform where businesses, startups, exchanges, protocols can set their dashboard and track the user, track the user performance on their DEX, for example, and then issue an NFT to that user. So that NFT means that the user has interacted with the platform in any way. Either he's like content contributor or he swapped the amount of cryptocurrency on the protocol. And because this is kind of B2B business, there are plenty of projects involved, and there is room for content marketing. There is room for co-marketing, and this is also the right way to build your CRM in Web3. So
do you want to add something?
Yep. I also wanted to add here that again, I believe that it's much more useful to build, first of all, to be able to build a little true community which is truly engaged, which is truly interested, and with whom you build real communication and connection, and then scale it. Because I mean, greed is, of course, is a very efficient instrument, right? And when we are talking about marketing, in most of the times, we are talking about how to create FOMO around the users. And in the most of the times, right, this kind of projects are not really showing proper success afterwards, because first, when you get these thousands and thousands of people into your social media, it sounds great, and then maybe you can even make them invest into your token or use your platform. But at the end of the day, I have seen very often I have seen that this kind of huge communities, they are first making the project grow, and then they are pretty much killing it, because there's then so much negativity and so on. So I would like to say in a very key, in small scale, and then make it bigger.
I think
just to build connection. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in Turkey. Content is going down here. It's a Turkish firewall or something. So I'm very sorry about that. So again, it's much more efficient to be able to build a small, truly dedicated community and then scale it, than to advertise your project, get tens of thousands of people, sell them something, and then deal with them. because this might be really dangerous for a project. And I've seen many projects that died from that kind of negative vibes, let's say like that.
Absolutely second that. It's about the balance nowadays, and since we're getting into a sort of century of DAOs and empowerment of the single community user, we're giving them the power to govern. It's very important for them to feel valued, and for a startup itself to have a community that wants to participate. And from here on, comes my next question. Building an engaged Web3 community now requires creating a sort of framework for community members to actively contribute to the project. How do projects engage their community participation? How do they encourage the participation of the user? Undergone, would you like to take that on?
Yes, thank you so much. I would like to talk about soulbound tokens here. You know, like lately Vitalik was actually writing about this topic and saying that, well, let's first of all start with the explanation. Soulbound tokens, SBTs, are actually NFTs, just non-transferable NFTs. So for example, your high school diploma could be also an SBT. And I believe this is actually what Yulia was talking about this project Galaxy. I think it's actually a pretty amazing, cool thing, you know, because people really love to be appreciated, you know, like, and this NFT in your wallet, it's like kind of a proof, you know, that you have been there, that you have been doing stuff. And SBTs, so soulbound tokens, and also all kind of different NFTs, they're actually giving you a possibility to build your own reputation without kind of like, you know, keeping your privacy. So people don't need to know you personally. They don't need to see into your passport, right? But they can still be sure that you are trustful and that you can be trusted, and that you have delivered a lot of value to the project. And it's pretty much, it's all about that. Like the more value you bring to the community, the more rewards you should get at the end of the day. And of course, we have this amazing opportunity in Web 3.0 to turn our users into community, and not just the community, but also turn them into pretty much the promoters of the project. Because if your community is actively retweeting about your project, then they are pretty much doing the job of the marketing department. But again, I see that most of the projects, they are just here for the money grab, or some of them are just scams, and they don't really care about like the true value of Web 3.0 technology. And as for me, like it was my own decision that like I told myself, okay, I'm not playing this game anymore. Just like I decided to go the true building way. And lately we have developed an application to get married on the blockchain. It's a dApp. You can download it in your app store. It's called Meta Wedding. And we're applying now to the Polygon grant, and we're applying to the Polygon acceleration program by Outlier Ventures. And I believe this kind of things, they should be like done step by step, because at the end of the day, first of all, we are building an innovation. Then we need to validate it to turn it into the product. And then when we add a business model, adjusted business model there, it may become a business, right? And most of the projects, what they do is just like they try to create FOMO, take their innovation or a forked version of something, and then just, you know, like turn it into business. So, but it's an amazing game. It's everything what's happening right now. It's like a one big huge experiment. I would even say that humanity, it's like kind of like a living organism that is actually creating thousands of different hypotheses and then testing them, and only the strongest survive in the end. So the time will show, you know, at the end of the day, which strategies have been the most efficient ones.
Absolutely. And just an idea for your wedding app, which is an amazing idea. I think the soul-bound token of your spouse can be attached there, you know. So the spouse.
That's what we do. I mean, like when
Okay.
you send the request, then your spouse needs to accept it, and then
I lost you again.
Tokens are so I'm sorry, guys.
I lost you again.
Okay, now it should be better. It should be ruining the whole panel discussion because of this Turkish internet. I'm so sorry, guys. So again, after you send a request and the request is being accepted, to ERC 1155 non-transferable NFTs are being created. So both partners are getting them into their wallets. And as we know, non-transferable NFTs are actually SBT tokens. And yeah, so you should guys definitely download the app and show it to your boyfriend.
So is there a way to get divorced?
Of course.
Okay.
I mean, that's life, you know.
Amazing.
And also, by the way, anyone can get married. You know, this old people from old governments with their old formations in their heads are actually not allowing many people on this planet to get married. We are talking about LGBT community, but in our case, you know, I believe that Web 3.0 is the new state. You know, this is the one and only let's say organizational system which will unite the humanity. And in Web 3.0, grown-ups can get married with anyone they want.
Yes, Julia, would you like to add something about the tools to keep community engaged? Something from your side?
Yeah, I think well, there are many tools to make your community contributors, active contributors of your project. For example, there are apps that track the work performance. There are apps that like smart contracts that give payments. But I think for like to run this kind of program where your community is becoming your extension of your marketing team, let's say. So it's the most important is to give your community the right incentive and the enjoyable way to participate. So first of all, the community members should know what and why he or she is doing this for. So that's exactly not creating the 1 minute FOMO, is to give them the long-term perspective and give them the long-term value. And the second thing is to make their work and to make their life within your project enjoyable. And that means creating a good interface, creating good like feedback channels, making them want to interact with your project throughout like different tools, throughout design, throughout personal communication, throughout maybe providing them with valuable information, giving them opportunity to talk in person, to talk to the core team members. That's very important for them to know that, to let them know that every single member of the community is valued. That I think that no matter if it's Web3 or not Web3, there's still like personal relations are very valued in every industry.
Yeah, I would also like to add here is that this is kind of like for, you know, a message to the true builders. It shouldn't always be about marketing and commercial stuff, you know, because for example, even as Yulia actually said that even we see these examples like in this, you know, original early days of internet, for example, and in general, like the computer IT industry. For example, Linux, you know, they have never had the business model, right? Linux is still free. Anyone can download it. It works 100 times better than Windows. And there is a huge community around Linux. What about community of Microsoft? I think doesn't exist at all. So I think the more commercial you become, the less community oriented you can be. And as we already talked about that, it's all about community, right? So like very often when we are talking about marketing, we are talking actually about how to engage and how to grow your community. So I believe that in Web 3.0, we kind of have a mix of it. So if you then are at the end of the day able to build this profitable business model, which is, I'm not saying that it's bad, of course, I mean, it's also great. But if you then also share this profit with your community, then it's like it's a win-win scheme, and then you are truly, and then you can truly become successful. So yeah, let's see where it's going to bring us.
Yeah, I'd love to add that it is very important to involve your community on every stage, especially if you do not have product yet. Discuss everything with your community, make the polls, make a group of beta testers who can give you feedback on your product, and ask them what functions, what utilities they need to have. Because most of the time you cannot even imagine the answers. Yeah, and more than that, in this case, they will feel the part of the product. They will feel like kind of product owners. And another idea, you can always hire community managers from your community, especially regional community managers. So for example, if you're entering new markets, I don't know, Turkish, Latam, whatever, you can just hire the manager from your community, and you'll get a win-win situation here, double profit.
Absolutely.
No, as for me, I'm sorry guys to say that, but as for me, marketing without product, it's like the dark side of the game. Because I mean, I've been there like in 2017. It depends, of course. Yeah, it's absolutely, I agree, absolutely. But for me, that's just sounds scary, you know, because I've been there. And like, it's like pretty much it's when you don't have a product, you need to all the time promise something, right? Of course, you can like then make polls and engage them and then make them feel like product owners, but it's all about promises and about creating this FOMO with promises, selling them tokens and then promising them something. So I think, again, I would really advise to everyone who is starting something, to build something and launching something in Web 3.0, don't run after numbers. Don't get convinced by all these commercial guys. Like first build something valuable, build something fun, build something innovative, and then validate it and then try to make it, and then start this number game. Because that's, you're just gonna save you're gonna save so many nerves, and you're gonna keep your mental health in order, because the mental health of founders is the most important thing, because every startup it's a long run, right? And so you need to be really, because if you overhit it in the beginning, then everyone is like getting burned inside, and that's, again, I've seen so many projects, amazing projects, with not scam projects, but really good projects dying because of this. So be careful with that, guys.
That's a good warning, but I believe who is there for the product and who comes to build will stand through bear markets and all the difficulties. Yes. Well,
exactly.
Thank you, everyone. I just want to ask you guys if you want to add something on top of our wonderful discussion. If you want to, I don't know, say hi to your team or announce maybe some program that you're running, like a WOO Force Ambassador program. No, everybody's good. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys. Thank you for talking about marketing, about how it's changed from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0 to all the contemporary tools. And have an amazing day. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Good luck. Bye.
Welcome to the Theta Network. Earn T-Fuel crypto rewards simply by watching live streams and videos. As you watch and share with others, you're contributing to the decentralized Theta Network, all powered by Theta's native blockchain. Discover the future of video delivery at thetanetwork.org.
Imagine a lake with clear water and unpolluted air. Imagine a website with real news and no hidden, unlabeled, sponsored articles masquerading as real news. That place exists, and it's called Be in Crypto, the first and only cryptocurrency news portal to provide complete transparency and honest news. Pure, relevant, informative. Are you in?
Bears and bulls are the two driving forces of the crypto market, depending on who buys and who sells. The bear, his superpower is to make money even when the market is down. Bear's strategy is selling short and provoking a supply increase. The bull, the whole bull's life is dealings for a rise. His main goal is a growing market. Bull is optimistic and pluckily beats first. The confrontation of bulls and bears lasts forever, and as its prize depends on who leads the fight. Exmo, choose the strategy and make profit.
Thanks a lot to our friends and Serafima for such an interesting and live discussion. Marketing, as always, is at the forefront, especially in the high-tech areas like ours. And our next speaker, Edwin Mata, CEO and co-founder at Bricken, will offer a logical continuation of the previous topic and tell us about how bring companies on chain. Hello.
Hi, hello everybody. I'd like to first begin by thanking Maxime for having us here at Bricken, so we can talk about what do we do exactly and how and why we're letting the world tokenize itself, right? So before we begin, it is important to understand what is tokenization. So that's basically when you are allowed to break any kind of asset, be offline, such as real ones, or online, such as digital ones. You break it down into tokens, and then you provide a funding infrastructure so you can actually fund projects, fund companies, fund whatever you want via the tokenization of such asset, right? And basically, how we began was we've been in the space since 2020. Actually, the idea was born before, but we got pushed down to the pandemic. Obviously, when everything was closed down, we started analyzing the market. And we also witnessed a degree of digitization that we thought that the whole world was going to just not only become digitized, but also was going to be transactable via tokens. So during the past 2 years, we've been establishing proof of concepts and whatnot, just to see how the interaction between the digital and the offline was going to be, or even between same parties interacting in the same field, such as digital to digital. And we saw that in reality, everything was going to be transacted via token. So we did an MVP. We came out to the market with a specific platform that has some functionalities, and as more as we evolve through the know-how, we established that we needed a plug-and-play solution, right? So we allowed the experience to be easy for companies to be onboarded into this tokenization, this digitization, this access to Web3. And that's how we managed to have now a decentralized application or an app that allows companies to really grasp that technology and become self-sufficient, issue their own security tokens, issue their own structure in the Web3, so they can actually be really interactive in this new type of digital economy, digital world, digital whatever you want to call it, right? And basically, what are the pains that we are trying to solve, or we actually solve via that? We call it the security token offering trilemma. It's not actually a thesis out there. We made the thesis ourselves, and it's basically throughout these years of engaging with different potential clients, institutionals, even public infrastructures, because obviously tokenization is just not safe to a specific private sector or a specific kind of vertical. It's throughout, right? And obviously, there's the aspect, which is the financial one, how to do it, where is the tokenomics, how much raise, how you're gonna, if there's dilution, how is the vote. So all these aspects, even how the funds are transmitted, how the dividends interest is transmitted at the second space. Well, that's a big thing, right? So financial aspects was one of them. And legal, especially when you're dealing with security token offerings, there's a security market law, and there's a commissioner in the back dealing with that. Every country has its own. So it's another layer of complexity and burden for the company to issue their own security, right? And finally, the tech aspect, not just because it's blockchain technology, let's put that it's not so unaccessible as it was once, but how you embed the solution itself in a user experience that is friendly, how easy it can be for investors to jump into tech or issuers to use the technology without any kind of burden. So you want to do it as simple as possible, as effective as possible, and optimizable as possible, right? So that's why it has to be the more simple, the better here. So that evolution took us to the next step, right? So instead of just focusing on deliver a product, we thought about becoming the underlying technology. So we go into that infrastructure level. Why do we want to provide infrastructure? Because if you provide infrastructure architecture, then means everybody can use it. Instead of going to like simple B2B, we want to create the layer under which everything is the token it can transact, right? And as more as we started building architecture wise, we established that maybe we can even provide architecture to DAOs. What is the relationship within the company being tokenized and a DAO existing? Well, basically, they still need operational aspects to be able to survive or do their day-to-day, right? And as we were, and we still continue to do so, and elaborate that infrastructure and that architecture for companies once they tokenize their assets, their shares, or any kind of underlying value into tokens, we are providing them the architecture and infrastructure for them to be able to operate. So how those funds are located, what is the voting mechanisms in the back, what is the financial structure under which some even funds can be locked or on escrow. So, or how the relationship with the cap table or token holding, stake holding, however you want to call it, is interacting between themselves. So we started developing this architecture that we start establishing that maybe we can also hit the vertical of DAOs, which are company-less, but being company-less should not mean structure-less, because a structure is the fact that something can work because everything is well allocated. It's like a machine. Just because you don't trust the machine doesn't mean that the parts should not work as one for the machine to work. In the DAOs, it's the same, right? So when we say we're building the foundation for mass adoption, is because we are merging the offline company Web2 format to Web3. And at the same time, we're bringing that Web3 ecosystem into the same single point of connection. And that's Wicked. So we provide architecture for both sides. So what we want to do, or the vision that we have, is to be able to create that B2D, which is business to DAO, or D2B, DAO to D, which is DAO to business, or D2D, DAO to DAO, right? Because this is the new economy that is going to be occurring in the coming years. And while B2B, B2C, and that is already well established, and there's many solutions for that, we have not yet seen a real palpable solution as to how this new interaction should work in Web3 specifically, right? So we call it tokenization as a service, just because as a service is well known, as a service is well understood. We really looking forward to really changing the whole aspect and putting it as a decentralized management solution, because it's the reality of this. When you're protocolizing something, you're providing infrastructure, or you're standardizing format, then it's not just a service, right? It's an operational aspect. That's what we want to do. Obviously, again, repeating myself, bits user experience is super important. It has to be super simple, because you don't know who you're targeting. I mean, one of the biggest things in blockchain is it becomes too innovative or too gonna put sci-fi, that it's very hard to onboard the rest of the humans that don't even get to understand what is blockchain. So I mean, when you're in the space, then yeah, super simple, you go and you might understand, but you want to really bring on board the rest of the 99, well, not 99, maybe like 89% of human beings who can get to interact with blockchain. Every day there's more adoption, even though right now we are going through a very hard bear market. The adoption rate has grew exponentially since 2017, its first crash. Then the pandemic, there was a little bit of another crash over there, but it's been booming adoption. So while interaction is still heavily being adopted, we are still focusing more on the speculative side of blockchains, and how the transactions of cryptocurrencies can really put money into my pockets, but yet the technology itself or the service is still not being used by all of these factors. So it's kind of like a slow curve of adoption, because they enter the crypto space, which is always good, but yet they are to still be able to taste or test that new form of technology. So without further ado, what I want to say is that's target that we will try to do here, kind of like bring all that mass into adopting this kind of infrastructure, so they can understand that security token offerings is a form of funding, it's a form of representation in shares, or it's a form of to how DAOs can interact between them and operate. So you want to do that, you want to bring that mass, because that's how these projects or these companies being tokenized are that's what they need the mass. So our whole infrastructure, even though it's a decentralized finance system, we also provide them the issuance of the SDOs, the issuance of tokens, the issuance of whatever fund format that they want to do. And since we are at the infrastructure level, we don't want to go and establish ourselves as the day-to-day based consultant, because then that will break that whole idea of how we scale. So we have created a marketplace where we bring third parties who want to provide a service to the issuer. So it can be a legal firm who wants to provide like that specific need that the company might require for them to issue their STOs, or how a DAO, what is the grappling legal mechanism under they're going to operate to limit liability, which is some facts that legality should always be embedded into, or even marketing wise, because like when you want to adopt or you want to bring the mass, you will need to be out there, in the sense that you have to be capturing those potential leads, a person that would like to invest in the company, would like to become your shareholder, which is now transformed into a token holder, or would like to become a member of your DAO because they have the same vision, line, whatever you want to call it. So there's many layers as to how it can occur. So that's why we created this marketplace where we invite any kind of expert who wants to really foment a new funnel of tokenization and then provide a service to the ecosystem that is using our infrastructure. Just a quick snapshot as to how it looks the dashboard on the issuer side. You have everything that you need. It's a one-stop shop where you have from your daily metrics or average of how the token is transacting, who's buying, who you want to allow to buy the token, what is the market cap, what is the supply, where you're hitting. We're creating a lot of analytics because now when you do this, your company becomes decentralized. So there's a lot of data points that you would like to require, you would like to have access to. So that's why we supply them. And basically we just provide in a one shot the whole management of the company, the whole infrastructure for them to raise funds. And obviously this is applicable to the DAOs because they are interested in the same this mechanism. What is my market cap? How do I get to certain levels of thresholds? How do I distribute funds? So all of that is done in a one-stop shop. And Ricken itself, if you were born 2 years ago, he have come through various formats. Formats by that I mean we evolved from a pure company using blockchain as the underlying technology to supply a service to really adopting blockchain as the underlying technology to become the service. It's not longer to use the service, but to become the service itself. And that's why we go at the infrastructure level. And we did a couple of tests with what we call our centralized application, which is just a Web2. Nothing, I would say nothing exciting because you just stay at the outskirts of what the technology can actually bring to a project. So we were there. And based on that, I mean, I really think that if we had not done that, we could have not ever created this because that helped us understand all the pains and all the perspective and all the potential business that was there and then see the verticals. We started, for example, trying to tokenize real estate to come to the conclusion that real estate is just a part of something that can be tokenized. So we went to the foundation itself, which is the company. We want to tokenize the company level because then you can tokenize whatever else comes from the asset perspective. And basically, funding wise, we did a pre-seed round. It's right there, 135. Okay, it's not big, but hey, founders, we put all our savings into this mission. And then we evolved through that. We got a subsidy from the Spanish government for 325K, which was proving that what we're trying to do was opportunity-wise in the state level interesting. That's why they foment this kind of new technology also. We enter what is called a regulatory testing sandbox to test new technology. We are under the supervision of the Spanish Security Commissioner because one of the ideas that we want to create is now that you deploy this DApp and this use of tokens, then you want to provide liquidity to these tokens. So you can create that via secondary market. And in the secondary market, by excellence, is always the exchange. So we want to create a secondary token exchange where we can transact not only our security tokens that are issued via our DApp, but also third parties. So we create literally secondary market. So we're doing that as well. And basically we launched our ICO and we closed our community round starting February, but then the bear market closed, so we delayed the next couple of rounds, which will be open very soon when we establish more the market, when it gets more stabilized. We have no doubt that our raise will take us above 5 million. Right now we're well above half. So it's just a matter of time so we can penetrate again the market with our ICO because obviously we would like to list. The importance of listing with our VKN is because our whole ecosystem is circulated around our token, the VKN. That's the name of the token. And it's because you can pay with the token, the issuance of any kind of STO, you should pay the experts, we get incentivized of staking and rewards. So we're creating the whole ecosystem around the VKN. And that's the fuel that can ignite all the STO ecosystem or DAO infrastructure that we're currently building. So for us to go public and live, it's a must. We are currently in talks with I would say top tier, by all means top tier exchanges. We're just waiting for the light position to finish our public faces, so we can launch on one of these exchanges that we have been approved. But we're just on hold since the market is what it is. And basically, we want to amplify our scope, our network, and obviously, we want to just establish ourselves as that tokenization platform. Who, instead of us tokenizing the world, we supply the technology that allows the world to be tokenized by itself. So, just as for explaining, our go-to-market is breaking down in three parts. So we got the issuers, the users of the technology. We got the experts, the consultants who can help the issuers in case there's some needs that the technology cannot supply by itself. And then we got the third part, or third level charge investors. So we have the funnels for capturing everything there. Our business model is done by a one-time fee of issuance, a success rate on the raise, and then we have all the kind of mechanisms. And basically, funding is always needed in the sense that there's never enough money that we can monetize. We're going to be deploying our first test cases in September to tap and see how we can monetize, establish new metrics. And so basically, we want to close our ICO round to further expand our departments. We've grown from, I would say, if I'm not mistaken, from 9 people full time to the company to 24 in the last 3 months. So we've experienced a growth, and we want to keep growing because we want to accelerate our positions in the market to capture the tokenization vertical. And obviously, this goes with having the possibility of getting access to new money, right? And basically, that's what Ricken is in a nutshell. And if I can close with a line, I mean, basically, our whole model is bringing companies on chain and providing infrastructure for these companies to operate on Web3. And obviously, since we want to target the novelty of what Web3 brings, DAOs will be able to use this infrastructure for them to operate and connect to the Web2 infrastructures, which is obviously the companies that are off chain. And that's basically. So thank you very much for this time. Hopefully you found the project interesting, and if you have further questions or anything, you can find us in our contacts through events, and we'll happily be able to discuss if you see a potential collaboration or you're even interested in the organization space, how they could discuss any matter that is related to the same. Thank you very much.
In the meantime, we welcome the next guest of Synopsis. It's Lise Wessel, advisor, marketing and communication at IAMX AG. Will tell viewers why IAMX is Own Your Identity. Lise, you are on the air.
Hi, Maxime. Thanks for the introduction and thank you for inviting me to speak here at Synopsis. And hello, everyone. I'm Lise. I'm here from IAMX and I'm really excited to be here today and tell you what we're doing at IAMX. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about SSI, because IAMX is a self-sovereign identity, which is shortened to SSI, solution and ecosystem. So just a few words to all of you about what SSI is, because not everyone might be familiar with the term yet, but soon it will be something everyone will know. So self-sovereign identity is a model for managing digital identities in which you as an individual has sole ownership over and control of your personal data. So right now, your identity is very much owned and controlled by the big corps. They're gaining the value of your identity as you are moving around Web 2. Soon we are transitioning, or we are actually transitioning from Web 2 to Web 3. And with that, we are seeing a shift from a centralized system to a decentralized system. And that also works in terms of your identity. Identity is, I guess many people think of identity as your passport, your driver's license. It's so many things. It's what you use to prove you are you and you have the qualifications or the rights to do certain things, whether it's your age or your ability to drive, for example. And at the moment, that is not in your ownership. And it hasn't been for a long time, because before it was obviously issued by the state, and which it still is in many cases, but now it's also controlled by the corporations who harvest your information and use it. For example, they sell it and make money off you. So what is IAMX doing? IAMX is the first SSI solution to incentivize you as the owner of your own identity. So not only are we providing the technical capabilities for you to own your identity, we're also allowing you to reap the benefits of owning it and using it in your own transactions on the internet. So you could think of your self-sovereign identity, your IAMX identity, as the next generation visa, allowing you to go seamlessly around Web3 and not having to fill out tedious forms, KYC. Basically, you're always logged in. Let me tell you a little bit more about IAMX in the sense of where the founders of IAMX are coming from and what that has to say for how IAMX will be able to enter the market. The founders of IAMX have 20 years of experience in the German telecoms industry. So they know basically a lot of telecoms companies all over Europe and also in the world at large. They're actually already in 2 weeks' time onboarding a German telecoms company that has 10 million subscribers, in which those subscribers will be offered to create a SSI, a self-sovereign identity, via IAMX. And they also have a deal with another company that will be the next to be onboarded. So with SSI, it's all about who uses it, and their connections to the telecoms industry is basically what is ensuring large onboarding of users. The other thing that they have developed is terminal, which will be set up especially in countries where there's an issue with people not having an identity. You know, most people here in Europe, where I am, we have had an identity all our lives, but in many countries around the world, there are millions of people who have no identity, and especially women suffer from this the most, as they often are the ones being left without any form of identity. And what does that entail? It basically means you cannot open a bank account, you can't have a phone subscription. There's all sorts of limitations in which you cannot interact in society. And that's a huge issue for the development of large nations. There is, countries in Africa where 7 people have to share one SIM card because there are so many people who don't have an identity and can't get a SIM card. So that is also a very important part of what we're doing at IAMX. We are providing identities to the unidentified through our terminals, and those terminals are, you're able to scan your biometric identity. Biometric means, it's your thumbprint or fingerprints, it's your irises, it's your face, and it creates an identity which is on a governmental level. So where do you have your identity if it's a self-sovereign identity? Well, you have it in your wallet. And although IAMX has launched on Cardano, we are cross-chain and operable on 43 ledgers. So you can choose to have your identity stored on whatever ledger or blockchain you want. That's totally up to you. So now that I've given you a high-level intro into both SSI and IAMX, I want to talk a little bit about the IAMX token. So the IAMX token is based on a Fibonacci tokenomics. And as far as we know, we're the only one who has based our tokenomics on the Fibonacci replicator algorithm. So this is the reason why we've done it, is in order to be able to release more tokens into the market as the demand grows. So we're on the Cardano blockchain, and the utility for the token is to create identities, to verify identities, and to enable a one-click fulfillment. So for creating identities, that's completely free for the individuals. So when, for example, telecoms company onboard their customers to IAMX, they are given the tokens to, or they are not given the tokens. Tokens are given directly to the individuals so that they can create an identity. We're also running an ISPO, which is an initial stake pool offering, in which people can stake their ADA and receive IAMX tokens, and thereby accumulating IAMX tokens. Those IAMX tokens can be sold on a marketplace that will go live in Q1 to Q2 in 2023, where basically companies that will use the IAMX token for verification will be able to buy IAMX tokens. What is rather special about the IAMX token is that if you are a first purchaser through the private sale, for example, or first receiver of an IAMX token through our ISPO, when you sell that token to a company and it's used for a verification, you receive another token back into your wallet. So as that first generation 1 token is used, you get a generation 2 token that you again can sell. When that generation 2 token is sold, you receive 2 more, in this case, generation 3 tokens back into your wallet that you can sell. And then when those are sold and used, you get 3 tokens back. When you sell those and those are used, you get 5 tokens back. And the 5th generation tokens, that's the part where it ends. But basically, you've managed to get 12 times out of your tokens. And this is what we call the Fibonacci tokenomics. So not only are you able to sell your token 1 time, you're basically able to sell it 12 times. Second. So yeah, here you can see this exemplified on the screen in this visual here, which shows how you are basically buying or receiving one token, and that token turns into 12 tokens. Just show a little bit of that because it's rather unique. So at the moment, if you want to purchase IAMX tokens, you have the ability to do it through a private sale, or you can go into our ISBO and stake your ADA and receive the IAMX token that way. We have very good rewards and bonuses given to the people who stay the longest. So the longer you stay, the more you earn at a greater speed. Here's a picture of Fibonacci on the side. So I think that covers a lot of what I wanted to talk about today about IAMX. I hope that it's given you all some new information and maybe gotten you interested in our project. And if you want to learn more, you find us on Twitter or on iamx.id, which is our website. So that's iamx.id, and there'll be links there to both our Discord group, our Telegram group, our Twitter. We have several articles out on Medium, which helps you understand a bit more about what we're doing. And also the deck that you've seen today is available on our website. So thank you again for allowing me to talk here today, and enjoy the rest of the Synopsis conference.
Imagine a lake with clear water and unpolluted air. Imagine a website with real news and no hidden, unlabeled, sponsored articles masquerading as real news. That place exists, and it's called Be in Crypto, the first and only cryptocurrency news portal to provide complete transparency and honest news. Pure, relevant, informative. Are you in?
Welcome to the Theta Network. Earn T-Fuel crypto rewards simply by watching live streams and videos. As you watch and share with others, you're contributing to the decentralized Theta Network, all powered by Theta's native blockchain. Discover the future of video delivery at thetanetwork.org.
Thanks, Lisa. And projects from the realm of the metaverse, and indeed the entire Web3, built around the ideas that we can finally truly control how we present ourselves to the outside world, and not live, in the hands of billions of technological giants. So the time has come. The next speaker will tell us about an equally important aspect of the metaverses, about earnings. Alexey, NFT expert and NFT art and media, presents trends in M2E, reviews the future of P2E games, and answers how it will change the gaming industry. Hello, Alexey.
Hello everyone, today we will discuss theme, trends and move to earn, and also the future of pay-to-earn games, how it will change the game industry. And I will start with pay-to-earn games. Now every day there are more and more pay-to-earn mechanics, and now every day there are a lot of games which are provide such technology. However, is this the first time we're facing this? And I will say no, because this was implemented even earlier on Steam, Origin, and other marketplaces, only in a different way, through the sale of in-game items on the marketplaces, which was out of Steam or Origin, and it was also like people create new mechanics to earn money, but not like a technology. And if we talk about our past, the most popular and expensive sales were in Counter-Strike and also in Dota. But today, blockchain technologies with NFT will give us new experience, also for like players, for consumers, and also for developers. And today we can see how the giants of gaming industry are considering new technologies as a prospect and a new reality. For example, Square Enix, this company provides for us a very famous game like Final Fantasy. They already developing pay-to-earn games, and they wanted to launch it in the next year. And also we can I think everyone has heard at least once about the multi-million losses in the intergalactic battles between clans in one MMORPG, EVE Online. People really spend and earn real money in big amounts, but it is but NFTs and blockchain that allow you to do this in the real right way. There are no these mechanics. They are like people organize banks and also economics inside the game, but there are no really mechanics for developers because people are invited in the game. But for today, with technologies of blockchain and also NFT, we can saw that games can implement these technologies to earn money and also to make new experience to people, like new mechanics move to earn, which are very popular for today. And we have the best one of products is like Stepan. Stepan is the best example of a working game and application with high quality tokenomics. And the main thing in this game is the one of the simplest guides to the world of pay to earn games and also in NFT. And another point is that mechanics such as improving health and making money have never been combined before. Moreover, in fairly easy way. And running or walking is what all people do moreover every day. And this is new experience when you make money in such easy way when you walk for like 10 or 15 minutes and make one or from $100 from $1,000, and this is cool in this industry. But when we talk about where we will go in the future with such trends and such technologies, I will say that we will have new experience in Web3, also in Metaverse, such the like the Roblox, which I think everyone knows this game because there are playing a lot of kids and also some people who like to improve their knowledge in NFT, and also there are a lot of brands which are going to this game. But what the main thing in all what I say now, the Roblox is the like some example of what we will have in future. Because Roblox is the metaverse where you can take your experience from one game and items from one game and give it with you and change the game and go to another one with all your experience, with all your items. And it's like in real life, when you change your job, you will have the experience from past one and you take it with you and go to another job to implement your knowledge in the new place, in new work. For today, games didn't give this chance for players also to take their experience, to take their items and go to another game. But I think in the future, we will have such new technologies to implement from one game to another game. These NFTs, like in-game items with experience, which we will provide and use in other games. Also, I will say that in this such way, we will have new mechanics. If we talk about Stepan is a move to earn mechanics when you are going or walk and earn money and earn cryptocurrency. But there are also other games which are even come out yet. It's like Step Up and Amazing, which started to introducing new sub-mechanics in these games, such as competition between players in the marathon format, rental of sneakers, cheaper way to buy sneakers, and also other small technologies which will upgrade the games. Also, if we talk about pay-to-earn games and all the sector, there are a lot of new mechanics like travel to earn, play to earn, move to earn, learn to earn, race to earn, and a lot of variants of making some actions to earn. And that will give the new experience for people to play in games, to spend their money, to spend their time. And I think we're only on the first step of our future of the games industry. And I think we will go in a very fast pace in the next years, because a lot of games and a lot of gaming giants are going to implement NFT and blockchain in their games and to provide new experience to players. Because gaming industry are growing every year on a big percent, and for them are important to take all the time and all attention from the players on their own product. And I think we will see how the play-to-earn mechanics also will introduce in metaverses, in new VR and AR games, which will give new experience to all of us. Thank you for watching and hearing me. I think in a few years, we will all play in pay-to-earn games with these mechanics. Thank you.
was very informative, and thanks for it. So while the metaverses have not yet grown to gigantic proportions and become heavy and slow like traditional industries, it will be very interesting to observe the vectors of the development. Yeah, thanks again. Next on our agenda is Tsotne Pavliashvili, CEO and lead game designer at Nemesis. He will present Nemesis, a first-person GameFi project with ComicFi features. Welcome.
Greetings, Max. First of all, I want to say big thanks to Synopsis for this amazing opportunity. I'm Tsotne. I'm CEO and the lead game designer of a project of Nemesis. Nemesis is a first-person shooter blockchain-enabled game with a competitive and open-world game modes. Nemesis uses ComicFi, Metaverse, and play-to-earn mechanism. The full ecosystem is powered by one and only blockchain-enabled token, Mene. Nemesis offers us several different core features. First of all is a two-game mode, competitive and open world. Secondly, it will be free to play and play to earn. We are adding in our game ComicFi feature, which is a brand new feature. And we have some good ideas about Metaverse as well. So about game modes, we have two major game modes. First one is a competitive. So we are trying to bring in GameFi world esports tournaments and esports feelings. The competitive game mode is something like that. Two teams will be pitched into 5 versus 5 match, and they will compete each other. And winner will gain rewards. Open world is in open world you can freely roam around the map, explore private Nibiru's Anki and beautiful locations. There will be 25 totally different and ancient culture of the Nibiru. You can fight, collect rewards, and earn other kind of rewards as well. The game, as I said, will be free to play and play to earn. Why we say that free to play, it will be free to play? Because we don't want to stress our community. When some players will join us, we don't want to say, hey, this is our game, you can try out, you can play game. If you like, then you can purchase other NFTs, you can purchase our characters, you can purchase our skills, or you can purchase our weapons to match your playstyle and the heroes to you. And also, of course, our game will be play to earn, so players will be rewarded for their time and for their contribution to the project. ComicFi is an amazing feature which Nemesis team came up. So in GameFi projects, there is no much relationship between games and between players. So we are changing that approach. We are delivering full-blown storyline in our metaverse and in our game. So if you choose a hero, or this heroes will have its own Anki storylines. They will have relationships. They will have weaknesses. They have fights, and you can read all of this with our storyline comics. There will be also key comics which calls when you play open world, there will be guardians, and you need to defeat them to get Anki rewards. For that, you need a key NFT comics. Where you can these key comics will show you where the guardian located, what place he will located, and which guardian it will be. And the key is kind of one-way ticket. If you go inside the guardian cave, then you need to fight. If you win, that will be glory, and if you lose, that will be lost, and you will not have any other opportunity to find in specific guardian. And the last one is a reward. That reward comics will be super limited, and it will be only rewards for if you defeat the guardian, and that one will be super limited and super collectible. We say that nowadays everyone's saying that we have a metaverse, but we want to upgrade metaverse and to deliver something beautiful. So we are introducing lending system where you can have a land and the housing units. You can rent these housing units to other players. That feature will be amazing for esports teams because every players want to play with his idols. So organizations can buy and purchase land and rent the housing units. People will have opportunity to play with idols and with their pro players, and organizations will be able to get more funds. Inside lands, there will be inside game pawn shops and marketplaces. I'm not talking about web or something. I'm talking inside marketplaces and pawn shops, where you can just with your character go inside, bargain with voice chat, maybe take any item and buy it. What will be different between website and inside game marketplaces? Inside game marketplaces will be less taxed, so it will be cheaper. Also, we are saying that we are making our characters decentralized. What we mean is that our characters is not a hero. Our characters are someone who race. So if you are choosing one of the character, you are getting part of that race. So you will have your own story, your own will, your own fights. So our character will be in general decentralized, as well as we are adding that and that is meaningly of coming, of course, from centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges. What I want to say is that so in set we mean that there will be a centralized town halls where you can go purchase something or hire team to farm mission. There will be 24 live support. Any bargains will be controlled by support, and there will be decentralized town hall where nothing is controlled by nothing will be controlled by supports. It's your own choice. If you are brave, you can go in, but be careful. If you die there, you will lose all your items what you have in that moment. Today, GameFi projects is suffering from pay to win mechanism. A lot of native gamers just get rid of because of the pay to win mechanism, because it's hard to say that if I'm a good player but I don't have a good money, someone who have a very big money, they can purchase a very big and powerful NFTs and just break me. So that is not funny for native gamers. That's why a lot of gamers don't come in GameFi projects. So in Nemesis we said we need to change that, we need to do something. So we made a formula, we made the algorithm, mathematical and physiological algorithm. It is 100% skill-based algorithm, which help us to split weapon tier list, not only weapon, characters and skill tier list, based on how easy it is to use and not how strong it is. So in general, someone who have a great skills to play and have low money to purchase NFTs, and someone who have not a great skill to play and have a lot of money to purchase a powerful NFTs, they can compete each other side by side, and they will compete each other very fairly. So we say that we give a lot of new players, lot of new eyes into GameFi project, into crypto. We will bring a lot of native gamers to crypto world. I want to talk in general about our one and only blockchain email token, Mene. Everything what will be under Meta Nemesis umbrella will be powered by Mene. We will not have two token system. We will have only one token system. So Mene will be a main currency, and there will be MNB and X points. MNB and X points are just in-game currencies, just helpers. They are not blockchain enabled. So you, for example, if you want to purchase in-game something in-game or purchase tickets or something like that, you need to swap Mene token into MNB. So you will able to purchase something inside the game. So our game is underdeveloped already 6 months. We went public 2 weeks ago. So if you want to have more updates, you can follow our social medias. But we are finishing prototype version of the game in 1 month. So after the prototype version, first playable version will be pre-alpha, which will be public, and this pre-alpha will be pre-alpha case will be sent someone who will participate in our IDO. After that, there will be alpha, which will include all the great ideas and features which I have talked, and it will be done in next year March. Thank you for this opportunity one more time, and yeah.
Welcome to the Theta Network. Earn T-Fuel crypto rewards simply by watching live streams and videos. As you watch and share with others, you're contributing to the decentralized Theta Network, all powered by Theta's native blockchain. Discover the future of video delivery at thetanetwork.org.
Dear viewers, did it ever occur to you that comics are a multiverse actually, and it can become a separate, already formed world within the meta universe? Comics plus metaverse acquire lots of room for integration. Thank you, Tsotne. Actually, I can't believe I'm saying it, but we only have one performance left. Attention, our guest, last but not least, of course, is Michael Cotton, co-founder at Melt Ventures and Algorand representative. Michael will tell us why Algorand is the next generation of blockchain. Meet Michael Cotton.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for having me. Thank you kindly to Maxim, the Synopsis team, and the Coindar team for hosting today. Really appreciate you having me on. My name is Michael Cotton from Meld Ventures and Optio Capital. To give you a little bit of background to myself, I started working in the blockchain space in 2015, initially investing into the Ethereum space, and continued to do so for several years. And in about 2018, started looking at alternative layer one technology. Myself and my business partner, Ashley Milne, AJ, formed Meld Ventures and went down the path of researching a whole range of alternative layer one techs, as we thought it will be a key piece of what blockchain technology looks like in the future. As a part of that research, one of the key chains we spoke to and did a lot of analysis on and DD on was Algorand. And on top of both working closely with the team, learning about the tech and learning about their roadmap, we really got along with the team really well. And as a part of that, took some investment from Algorand and started building one of the very first projects on the layer one. We also formed Meld Ventures with the idea of both investing, incubating, and accelerating inside the Algorand ecosystem, building out the key fundamental and foundational pieces that were missing, and really trying to fill the gaps of what was still to come to really help the ecosystem grow. As a part of that process, we've gone on to have a portfolio of around 50 projects inside Algorand. They range everything from DeFi to infrastructure to Web3, and includes a really good variety of both teams across the globe, but also quite different in terms of products and the way those products operate. Really, I think, what's quite interesting about Algorand for those that aren't as familiar with it is how powerful the technology actually is. So in terms of scalability, transaction time, instant finality, it really is leading the way in terms of being a true solve for the trilemma. And for those that aren't familiar, the founder, Silvio Micali, one of the greatest computer scientists, that have ever lived, co-inventor of things like zero-knowledge proofs, verifiable random functions, pseudo-random number generation, is really one of the great minds in both computer science and cryptography, and was really the grandfather of so many of the fundamentals used by many blockchains today. He's also won things like the Turing Award, the Gödel Prize, the RSA Award, and a whole range of other incredible awards for the work he's done in the space. Algorand as a technology is also working on things like quantum resilience. It's also carbon negative. One of the key pieces to that, though, to be aware of is the actual energy consumption is incredibly low. Silvio's work around pure proof of stake, which means that the consensus mechanism uses a very low amount of energy to actually process that activity on chain, means it's not just carbon negative by buying carbon credits to offset a huge amount of energy usage and a huge carbon footprint, but it actually has an incredibly low carbon footprint, incredibly low energy usage. And Algorand takes that one step further and actually offsets even that minimal amount of usage to really make it a truly green blockchain. And this is, I think, also one of the quite interesting things that we've seen coming out of the space is, in reality, the public still see blockchain as generally a fairly negative area in terms of its energy consumption, its carbon footprint, in terms of how they view that it's, there's so many scams on chain, which is really quite sad to see. It's great to see blockchains like Algorand being able to really lead the way in providing alternatives in terms of the idea that it is such a carbon friendly or a green blockchain. It is such a powerful technology. It is the kind of technology that means you can do things like buy a cup of coffee on chain. The transaction time at the moment is about 4.5 seconds. That's being reduced shortly. It's instant finality. It also, transaction cost is sub 1.1 of a cent at the moment. So it's incredibly fast, incredibly low cost. It's scaling up to about 6,000 transactions per second shortly. It can go much further. There's a roadmap for up to 46,000 transactions per second. So in reality, it's this kind of brilliant technology that allow for broader adoption of far more use cases than what we would traditionally see. The ecosystem itself is really starting to grow. We've only just seen a lot of things happen, such as contract-to-contract calls, expanded on-chain data, which is about to go to the point of being unlimited. All these pieces have been coming into play in the last 6 months. What this means is we're actually able to now see why the blockchain is so powerful. Previously, a lot of people have not understood that a lot of the on-chain implementations haven't been completed, which means Algorand hasn't been able to see the same developments on chain that you would have seen elsewhere, because it hasn't had some of these key technical pieces that would allow projects to build on chain. So a lot of these pieces are now falling into place, which will mean we'll see a whole range of great quality projects now starting to launch over this next 6 to 12 month window. I think what's also really interesting about the kind of projects that are launching on Algorand is a lot of the founders and a lot of the key team members and a lot of the general team members as well that are coming into the space haven't been crypto native. A lot of them have been highly technical from very high caliber roles outside in the traditional world or outside the crypto world or blockchain world. And for them, Algorand was that real aha moment of really understanding, why blockchain could be so powerful and what real world adoption could look like if we, include things like blockchain in our day-to-day lives. So it's been great to see Algorand act as this bridge for a lot of the traditional world, a lot of the traditional business people, developers, marketing, all the way through to general operations, people coming into the space and really embracing this new technology and embracing this industry, which has been brilliant. But what it's also mean is a lot of the products we've seen come through Algorand have really strong fundamentals. They've got a lot of traditional approach in terms of how the business should operate. I think what's interesting about that is, in reality, I think at the core of it, blockchain technology should be something that's, essentially bringing traditional models, I think, can really work in the blockchain space, but it's the blockchain technology actually allows them to improve greatly, to become far more efficient, to become less centralized, to have less counterparty risk, to remove middlemen. And I think these kind of pieces are really key to what DLT was designed for. So it's great to see these kind of individuals actually embracing the Algorand space, bringing in traditional models with really strong fundamentals and leveraging blockchain technology to drastically improve the way they operate. As a part of that, we're seeing both DeFi growth, infrastructure growth. For those that aren't familiar, things like El Salvador building out a lot of their infrastructure on Algorand, COVID passports coming on chain on Algorand. People might have seen the recent FIFA announcement, which is launching on Algorand, Napster and LimeWire coming to Algorand. So we are seeing some really brilliant brands. We've just had the Australia Zoo just did their launch to raise funds on Algorand, which sold out their NFT series in less than 12 hours, 2,000 NFTs, which is brilliant to see. I actually really like it as a use case because the actual process of raising funds for Australia Zoo, which for those who aren't familiar with Australia Zoo, it's Steve Irwin's zoo that he founded here in Australia, does incredible conservation work across the globe, and is really a pinnacle of both dedicating themselves to the environmental cause and environmental conservation, as well as wildlife conservation. The actual process of raising funds through NFTs on Algorand had many incredible factors. Number one, it made it more accessible globally to anyone in the world who wanted to participate. They could participate in seconds, doing their transaction in 4.5 seconds, with that instant finality kicking in. It also meant transaction costs of actually bringing in the funds was incredibly low, again, sub 1 cent to actually do a transaction and mint the NFTs and deliver them. Again, 4.5 second delivery. On top of that, the actual carbon footprint of the fundraise, which for a charity that's looking at environmental conservation and wildlife conservation is incredibly important. The carbon cost of doing the fundraiser was incredibly low, almost to the point of non-existent in comparison to other traditional fundraising methods. And I think this was a really good example of what blockchain technology should be being used for. It should be being used to improve current systems and processes that we see out there in the space. What was quite interesting is, they did cop a fair bit of flack around, this is a terrible idea that you're doing something that's terrible for the environment, and that stigma of blockchain being bad for the environment and having this, terrible connotation of being, where scammers reside. It was quite sort of sad to see that was the instant gut reaction. And I think for me, watching that play out, it really made me realize that we need to do a lot more work as a community in terms of that public knowledge piece to see that further broader adoption into both Algorand, but the overall blockchain space. In terms of what we have coming to Algorand in the next sort of 6 to 12 months, because of all the upgrades I was talking about earlier, we are seeing this great onflow of products. We've got high quality DEXs that are including things like stable swaps on chain, your traditional constant products. We've got brilliant money markets that are launching. We've got a whole heap of additional layers over the top of that, such as trustless funds management, treasury management platforms, things like Prismatic that are doing some really interesting work around that. We're seeing things like Wayru, which are delivering decentralized internet to all over the globe with the intention to bring internet to those that haven't had access to it in the past at incredibly low cost. Through to collectible series and fundraisers like what was done with Australia Zoo. And then we've got other incredible NFT series like Black Book NFTs. We've got things like UNICEF coming on chain. We've also got things like Algoannas, which is one of the original series on Algorand doing some incredible artwork. You can sort of see one behind me here, one of the Algoannas. So we are seeing a really broad range of products, but what's quite brilliant about the technology as well is things like the DeFi side in terms of doing a transaction in a DEX, leveraging into a money market, putting it into a yield farm. All of these things can be done in seconds with instant finality, no front running, and the congestion because of the transaction time and the transactions the process per second is not an issue on Algorand. So in these really volatile times we've seen lately, recollateralizing loans, doing transactions to access funds has all been flowing completely smoothly without any issues. We've even seen people trying to attack the network and actually try to bring down the Algorand network and it has stood up incredibly strong. I think that's been one of the really strong factors for Algorand, is that it has been really robust and it has been really stable. And that is something that, not a lot of chains can actually talk to, is the fact that they can remain up and have 100% uptime and no hiccups in terms of that processing time, which has been brilliant to see. In terms of, I think, what we'll see post what's playing out at the moment, which is really feeling like we're heading deep into a strong crypto winter. Those that have been around for a long time, this certainly won't be your first, it's certainly not mine. I think it's a really great opportunity for Algorand to really spend time building and battle testing the network. Algorand's built on a language called Teal, so it's not the same language as you've seen anywhere else. It was a language created by the Algorand team. So I think this is a really great opportunity for the ecosystem to build some incredible products ready for this next cycle. In terms of what this next cycle will look like, I think I've heard a lot of different opinions in what we're going to see. I think for my personal opinion, I think we'll see this next 2 years act as a bridge for the traditional world to come closer to blockchain. So I think we'll see a lot more products, a lot more businesses adopt distributed ledger tech to utilize that incredibly powerful offering that blockchain tech has to improve their systems and businesses that they operate now. So I do think we'll see a real change of more and more businesses coming on chain and leveraging the technology for what it was meant for. I think what that'll also mean is we'll see a lot more fundamentals behind the products that are being built. I think valuations will be tested in ways that they hadn't been tested previously. And I think genuine business models, proven revenue, genuine revenue projections, and core fundamentals to drive value of things like tokens will see become more and more important. In reality, I think we'll see things like autonomous style equity with transparency and automated dividend distribution. I think we'll see these kinds of things start to play a bigger role in the space. I think at the same time, that'll mean we'll see a lot of change to how products operate. And I think we'll see a lot of innovation to include these kinds of products into the space. And with that, I think will come some really fascinating elements and some new ways to transact and operate in the space. At the same time, I think there'll be an incredible task for the whole ecosystem, the whole blockchain ecosystem, on how we also make it easier for other people to get inside the space and start using the technology and get involved with blockchain. In reality, I think for most of the world, they aren't necessarily ready to take responsibility of things like private keys and full responsibility of their financial freedom, because it does come with great risk. So I think there will be a lot of work needing to be done, and we're seeing some great teams build some really interesting products around making that easier for people to get involved and take that sort of halfway step without actually having to take complete decentralized ownership, but meet that sort of barrier and halfway, with the idea that long-term, I think they can overcome it. We'll see more people embrace full decentralization and full ownership of their financial freedom, and their actual assets will be completely in their control. But I do think for the moment, for most people, it's not something that they're willing to take responsibility for. So I think that'll be fairly key. And I think the other piece that I think will be really important, and I know it's something at Meld Ventures and Optio Capital we're spending a lot of time doing, but it's educating the public more, being quite patient and humble in terms of our approach to try and bring people into the space. I think that knee-jerk reaction for a lot of the broader community about how it is a bad space is something I think we collectively all need to work on overcoming. And we're certainly taking a lot of time in making sure that we're a positive force in sort of bridging that gap between us and the greater market. In terms of if you're interested in getting involved in the Algorand ecosystem, I think like all blockchain ecosystems and a lot of the layer 1 technologies and layer 2s, getting into the Discords, getting into the Telegrams, getting onto Twitter and starting to hunt down some of the projects you find interesting, dig into the projects you like. The community is incredibly welcoming. So I would say just get in and get involved. You can look up things like Meld Ventures, look up our portfolio. Other VCs in the space have also, people like Borderless Capital and Arrington Capital and several others who have done a lot of investments into the Algorand ecosystem. If you want to look, for example, at our portfolios, you'll be able to find several projects in the space if you want to start digging into certain projects as well. And always feel free to reach out on LinkedIn. Always happy to chat and help point you in the right direction on how to get involved. But thanks again, everyone, for having me. Really appreciate it, and hope to see you all again soon.
Unfortunately, everyone, the 5 day of summit has come to the end. The summit is hosted by the international blockchain consulting company Colibri Group and leading cryptocurrency calendar, market research service, Coindar.org. I would like to take this opportunity, actually last opportunity, right? Because, summit has come to the end. So to add that now, guys, you can follow the events on the crypto industry with Coindar.org in a new Opera crypto browser. Download, use, and enjoy how the extremely convenient features implemented in the Opera crypto browser. So organizers of Synopsis 5 are Being Crypto and Hello. Being Crypto is an unbiased blockchain media that follows the principles of the Trust Project, a non-profit consortium of media organizations building standards of transparency, accuracy, inclusion, and fairness. Hello is a sustainable and regulatory-friendly decentralized platform that solves the key issues of blockchain technology through the maximized speed, security, environmental friendliness, and scalability of the proof-of-stake consensus. I want to thank our general sponsor, Hello, as well as the diamond sponsors who made a significant contribution to the organization of this event. These are the largest companies in the crypto industry: Algorand, Chain, Veracity, and Prism NFT. Gold sponsors such as Envelope, Solve Protocol, Gather Network, Bella Protocol, New Pay Technologies, Fairdesk, and Vera Esports also made a no less significant contribution to us. And we express a special gratitude to our dear friends and partners who also made a huge contribution to the implementation of this event. These companies are Theta Network, Theta Drop, and Theta TV, Blockchain, Binks, Sugarverse, Exmo, Exip, Musai, Holidays, and Mui Network. The official partner of the broadcast is Theta TV, and on the Theta Drop platform, you can get several collections of the exclusive NFTs dedicated to the summit and become their owners. The NFT data was developed by the joint efforts of the Colibri Group, Theta Labs, and Coindar teams. We continue to use and develop one of the first Theta Pass implementations to access premium content for conference attendees via NFT. What does it mean? This means that every owner of NFT Synopsis can get a ticket of a special category called Theta Pass to unlock the premium features of the ticket, as well as access to premium content and other options in the future. To do this, you need to have any NFT on Theta Drop released by Synopsis and log into the Synopsis website in the appropriate sections: Ticket, Theta Pass. As part of the Synopsis events, an interactive zone has been opened. Cryptocurrency project has held contents and quizzes on the Coindar website and in the Synergy section and on the synopsis.events website by itself. So be sure to come and participate. Have fun. Also, one more cool event is waiting for you guys. It's exclusive after party after the Synopsis. So stay tuned and follow all of our social medias, and you will see the notice about it. Thanks for your attention as well for today and for the 5 days of the summit in general. And it was Maxim Sukhanosik. Goodbye, everyone.
Welcome to the Theta Network. Earn T-Fuel crypto rewards simply by watching live streams and videos. As you watch and share with others, you're contributing to the decentralized Theta Network, all powered by Theta's native blockchain. Discover the future of video delivery at thetanetwork.org.
And I represent the Envelope project. Many things have already been invented in the blockchain today. Tokens, smart contracts, platforms for creating your own coins, NFTs, exchanges for buying, selling, and exchanging all these blockchain resources. Envelope is another step in the development of crypto technologies. The protocol that works with NFT and cryptocurrencies. The idea is simple but disruptive. Let's assume you have an NFT, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Using the Envelope protocol, you can wrap the original NFT accompanied with several tokens. Technically, you get a similar NFT, but what is the breakthrough here? Once wrapped, the token has a number of additional features that were not available before. The minimum cost appears. It is provided with coins wrapped together with NFT. An asset wrapped with Envelope has a number of properties that allow the original author to receive royalties from the resale of that asset. Various rules can be applied to the wrapped token. For example, a lock period for unwrapping. It secures the asset till the determined moment or safeguards it from speculation during the hype period. At the same time, wrapped tokens can be transferred and traded. These are just some of the scenarios for using Envelope. NFTs become more popular, and the tools provided by Envelope expand the opportunities of NFTs utilization. Envelope. Make your NFT valuable. Just practical, no hype.
Imagine a lake with clear water and unpolluted air. Imagine a website with real news and no hidden, unlabeled, sponsored articles masquerading as real news. That place exists, and it's called Be in Crypto, the first and only cryptocurrency news portal to provide complete transparency and honest news. Pure, relevant, informative.